The James H. Reeve phone in.
There's many a time I've sat in my living room crying my eyes out because of these tattoos. I've even thought of getting a knife and cutting them off myself.
Call now on 0161 288 0103.
So do you think they're going to cost an arm and an egg? These leg and an arm and an egg.
An arm and an egg?
Oh, brilliant!
Call now on 0161 288 0103.
What they don't seem to realise is that respect on the street, it's not respect, it's fear.
Call now on 0161 288 0103.
I'm entitled to walk in my community safe and live in my own home safe, but they took that away from us.
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Yes, look, I was just about to launch into the usual tsunami, if I can use that expression, of popular debate subjects which may be at the top of your personal agenda, etc., etc. But I'm just studying things. I've been listening to certain remarks my colleagues have been making. I'm just reading the day's trawl of emails, and it seems that something's been going on the subjects of goldfish bowls. Right. I'll be looking into this. Anyway, as I was saying to my colleague, and I think I'd assumed perhaps unjustifiably friend, Debbie Mack, earlier, this is a serious, fast-moving, hard-hitting radio debate show, and not an arena for feeble gags about hair, or not. Not that there isn't any. That it's, you know, I've got plenty. It's mine. So, there we are. I think we're going to have to look into this closely. Oh, actually, there's a meeting. Yeah, there's a meeting tomorrow, so that's going to be... When I get to any other business, I'm going to raise that. Anyway, good evening. If you're new, then I wouldn't like us to get off on the wrong foot. This is James H. Reeve here with, as I say, the fast-moving, hard-hitting, no holds barred, no punches pulled topical debate show where you have the opportunity to air your views on anything that's in the public domain, apart from wigs, which won't be tolerated. So, where do we start tonight? Well, we've got a number of things we can do for you, and if only I'd had the presence of mind to bring them here. Right, here they are. Yes, sorry about that, a bit of bad planning there, don't worry about that. 0161 288 0103, that's the number which will put you on Key 103, and people will hear you all round the world, because we've still got a global footprint. It's, anyway, right, where do we start now? We like this one. I'm thinking, see, what do they like? Apart from pear drops. Tony Blair, the vast bulk of foreign prisoners should be deported, whatever the dangers in their home nations, says Tony Blair. He's told MPs that he's prepared to change the law to ensure that most foreign prisoners were deported automatically. This is, of course, in the wake of the resignation of the former Home Secretary over the rather embarrassing fact that there's no idea how many illegal immigrants there are in the country and where those who have committed very serious crimes have got to. The defence is that you can't deport people if they're going to be strung up, hung, drawn and quartered when they get home. Tony Blair seems to feel doesn't matter. Right. Downing Street said that some prisoners could avoid deportation in a very few exceptional cases, such as a known threat to an individual. And, of course, Mr Blair's views follow the news that 1,023 foreign prisoners were released without being considered for deportation. And John Reid, who's the new Home Secretary, revealed that 98 serious offenders, including one murderer, are still at large. More than 1,500 criminals sentenced in the 12 months up to March were recommended by the courts to be deported at the end of their sentence. Seems to have dropped a bit of a clanger on that one, but do you send people back irrespective of the seriousness of the crime and irrespective of what might happen to them when they get back to their native country? What about this? Here we are. Do you know, I'm loving this. Of course, we do tolerate to a certain extent, purely for amusement value, some of the crackpots who believe that the world is full of conspiracies. They're wrong. They are mad and sad. But one by one, of course, and I know they will never actually relinquish these balmy beliefs, but the new video, the pictures of the Pentagon being struck by an aircraft on 9/11 have been released. As you might have guessed, it will not put a stop to the endless claims in the world of conspiracy theorists that a missile or military aircraft hit the building instead. Of course it didn't, and the theorists don't believe eyewitnesses, physical evidence, engineering studies, anything. So, you know, you're barking up the wrong tree to start with. But anyway, the new video released by the Pentagon shows a plane flying low, hitting the building, causing a huge fireball. That is what happened. But the conspiracy theorists will carry on. We've had the collapse of the Twin Towers. That's been explained perfectly reasonably. But, you know, luckily, the world would be a sadder place, wouldn't it? It would be less entertaining if people believed the evidence of their own eyes instead of wandering off into some sort of crackpot world of their own. So that's that, and it's funny, isn't it? But guess what's happening in Altrincham? Not Tiddlywinks. We never really got to the bottom of that. But there is a meeting, a convention in Altrincham of, yes, ufologists. Oh, yes, indeed. Next month, UFO hunters will arrive in Altrincham in their hundreds for a seminar on the unexplained. Why don't they? Well, I mean, they could play cricket or something like that, couldn't they? But this is what they choose to do instead. What I'd like to do, actually, is find out where the meeting... Does it say in here? Oh, the Altrincham Masonic Hall. It'd be nice to get a photograph of them queuing up to get in, wouldn't it? And put it on the website. UFOs. Rubbish. What about this, though? This is, of course, local interest. In fact, if Jackie had anything about her, she'd be on top of this now. Right? A breastfeeding campaigner who took her fight to Downing Street was collared on the doorstep of number 10 by an armed policeman. An armed policeman for breastfeeding. Okay? Apparently, the policeman had a pair of 38s. And the woman is from Prestwich, a mother of two from Prestwich. And her name is, this is fantastic, her name is Stella Onions. Oh, yes. Yes, age 43, who was campaigning with other mothers in London, said the policeman made her feel that her actions were indecent. She was about to start feeding her 21-month-old son, who is called Zach. Well. After a petition calling for a law to be introduced to allow women to breastfeed in public was handed to the government. She was allowed into Downing Street because of the petition. Once she was in there, out they came. She said that the police officer told her he could lose his job if he allowed her to continue. Well, you know, what do you do? There's a Lancashire-based breastfeeding support group. Support group. Brilliant. I didn't realise that the first time I read it. And they're called Little Angels. And Stella, Mrs. Onions, is a part of this. Anyway, a Metropolitan Police spokesman said, a woman delivered a petition and was asked to move from the front of 10 Downing Street for restricting access. Well, it's just as well John Prescott didn't happen to be strolling by, or he'd have had a field day. And the bad news is that the number of people who feel that their fellow citizens are trustworthy has plummeted over the last 40 years from nearly 70% in the 1950s. In Britain, the figure has now dropped to less than 30. Do you trust your fellow citizen? Apparently, in Britain, hardly at all. Less than 30% said yes. In Sweden, the figure was above 70%. Does this tie in with your view of our modern-day society? Some say that it has collapsed. We get that view expressed on a regular basis. But then again, we get a lot of views expressed on a regular basis, and the fact that people say them on Key 103 doesn't necessarily mean they make any sense whatsoever. You know the score. 0161 288 0103. The other thing is, what we're going to do, it's a shame about Paul McCartney, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Did you do what they said on the news at dinner time?
What?
You know, when they come in with those big headlines.
Yeah.
Millions to be boiled alive. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
And then it was, she's leaving home.
Aww. Oh.
Funny, but a little bit unfair, I thought. 0161 288 0103. That's what we're here for. This is our penultimate one of the week. And tomorrow, obviously, is the last one of the week. And then you won't see my arse for dust!
Bye-bye.
For a fortnight. Or, no, you won't see Jackie's arse at all. In fact, this will be a pleasant change. 0161 288 0103. What I meant by that is... okay, right.
There are various ways to get hold of £25,000. You could drink in a celebrity bar and snog a minor TV presenter. Then, as you're getting into your car, accidentally let the paparazzi get a shot of your pants. Then make a career out of wearing really small pants. Or you could listen out for 3 songs in a row. The £25,000 triple play. The way of winning money without flashing your pants.
Manchester's #1 hit music station, Key 103.
Hi, I'm looking at your Ford Escort ad in Auto Trader.
Yes?
Now, does the number plate say 666?
That's right.
Right, and does it ever belong to a worshipper of Satan?
I'm not sure.
Gonna have to pass them.
Be choosy. There are over 335,000 other cars if you use Northwest Auto Trader. Pick up a weekly copy and go online.
With great fares from VirginAtlantic.com, you can afford to splash out.
Come on, kids. You don't get lobsters like these back at home. Which one do you want?
Don't like lobster. Me neither.
Oh, look at that one wriggling in his tank, look. Look, he's waving at you.
Fly return to Barbados, Antigua, St. Lucia and the Bahamas from only £599. Get this and other great Virgin Atlantic fares at VirginAtlantic.com. Book by May the 21st. Terms and conditions apply. Restricted availability.
Do you constantly find yourself forgetting things? Are you always tired? Have your friends stopped coming round? If you've said yes to any of these, you may have kids. That's why we've designed the new Peugeot 307 SW with a panoramic glass roof. Yes, it's a family car with up to 7 seats, but it's for all those parents who still think a festival involves mud and music, not a basket of vegetables. Now available with 4 years typical 0% APR with a 20% minimum deposit. For more information, text KIDS to 60222. A new Peugeot 307 SW. Because kids aren't the end of your world. Written quotations on request from Peugeot Financial Services. A guarantee may be required.
When Mum was out, he'd give me beer and show me videos. Then do stuff to me. He said there'd be big trouble if I told anybody. I was dead scared to tell anyone. But one day, I plucked up the courage. It was tough, but it's worse if you don't tell someone. If it's happened to you, when you're ready, visit the NSPCC website, don'thideit.com, or call Childline on 0800 1111. Remember, if you've been sexually abused, you don't have to hide it anymore.
We plan to decorate the little one's room this summer. We plan to make it a surprise. We plan to get a new furniture too. We didn't plan for the house to catch fire. We didn't plan an escape route. I didn't plan to lose someone I loved that night. I didn't plan.
If you want plans for the future, plan your escape route. For more information on the steps you can take for safety in your home, visit manchesterfire.gov.uk. A message from the Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
As a matter of fact, I just remembered something else. Listen to this. Listen to this. On the... I think was it Channel 4 News, I think? Yes, it was, Channel 4 News. Yeah, because yesterday, that Christian Gurumurthy bloke went to indulge in a bit of quite appalling humiliation of Guy Gomo, you know, the geezer, the taxi driver fella. That was I couldn't believe. I honestly thought that the continuity bloke would say, and after the lunchtime news, there's another chance to see Love Thy Neighbour. But today, a caption came up. He said, Paul McCartney and his wife, Heather, are to separate, and a big caption came up behind him, and it said, McCartney's to separate. SEPERATE. Yes. And I know probably 85% of the Hillmans will be going, yeah, or, ooh, why don't they just put split? But I'm sure that if you are in any way literate, you will realise that that is a howler of the most ghastly proportions, and heads ought to roll at Channel 4 for that, frankly. It's depressing, isn't it, that anyone could not know how to spell separate, and whoever checks it, either nobody checked it, or whoever checked it didn't know how to spell separate either. See what I mean? There's no standards left anymore. 0161 288 0103. Actually, just before we talk to our first Hillman, there's, James, Jackie's portrayal of a dumb blonde last night was great. Yeah, so good that Moira, Dorothy and all the other old bids must have cleared the shelves of Tenor Lady. That's very unfair. Thank you. Sardine Stockport, what a pleasure to hear from you after all this time.
Hello, James. How are you? Long time to speak.
Yeah, I know, yeah, just
time flies. So much has happened, eh?
Long time flies, yeah.
Oh, time flies. So much has happened.
Yeah.
I just wanted to talk about, you know...
What is this like a mumbling contest?
What?
Come on, what do you want?
I'm not mumbling.
Come on.
Yeah, I wanted to discuss about, it was in the news about illegal immigrants.
Yeah.
Now, you know, they're saying the government doesn't know how many illegal immigrants there are in this country. You know, if they're illegal, you know, how are you supposed to, you know, make a count, you know, of how many there are? You know, it seems to me it's, you know, near impossible. What begs believe is how the hell do they, you know, how the hell do they get into the country? You know, is the borders not secure enough, or don't they do the checking at the airport when they come through?
I suppose. I mean, you are right. Amazingly, you are right in that if they've got in illegally, then
then there's
nobody's going to know where. Yeah, that's right.
It?
Yeah. Point taken. I thought the civil servant who was asked a question by the Common Select Committee showed it was either a refreshing honesty or an act of the utmost political naivety. Because it's not a widely used expression in political circles to say, I haven't the faintest.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
He said, can you tell us that? He said, how many illegal immigrants? He said, I haven't the faintest. not the foggiest, pal. Normally they say, what we've done is, and we've made this very clear, and then go on to give you a load of bull. But no, he just said, I couldn't tell you. Wouldn't know where to start.
But I mean, is it like, you know, is it a matter of security? Because it's a good, like, you know, we had the situation with the criminals, got illegal immigrants who committed crimes, you know, some horrific crimes.
Well, yeah, look, I mean, there's all sorts. There's some people who might be here legitimately, by whatever criteria you use, who then commit serious crimes. Well, you then say, well, wait a minute, does being admitted into this country mean that, I suppose, as if you are a guest in someone's house, you are expected to behave yourself? And if you murder or rape someone, that hardly counts as behaving yourself. Right? And therefore, do you pay the penalty for that crime, or do you also forfeit your right to be in this country? Now, some people will say, well, no, if you're in this country, like, what happens if there isn't anywhere to deport you to? What happens if someone born and bred here commits rape or murder? We can't deport them. We just sentence them for the crime that they've committed. Right. Okay, good.
I mean,
right. Spirited comeback, Sard. Yeah, go on. Hit me with another one.
I just want to move on to another subject.
Well, we haven't finished that one yet. We can hardly say we've polished that one off, can we?
Well, we could go on forever, James, you know, I mean...
Well, I know you can.
Yeah, I know I can, but I don't want to go on forever because it gets boring, you know. But what I wanted to discuss was the situation with Iran at the moment. Now, you know...
We've barely scratched the surface of the deportation illegal immigrants business.
Yeah.
Do you know what's happening in America now?
Well.
There is a growing move to say to everyone who's in America illegally, and there are several million...
Yeah.
Okay, right, amnesty. You're here, you're doing a job, you're working, we're spending millions of dollars every month.
Oh.
What have you done now?
Sorry, I was just...
Burnt yourself?
I understand what you're saying.
Right. So let's just say the people are doing rubbish jobs anyway. They're doing crap, low-wage jobs that Americans won't do. So let's just say, okay. The other interesting thing is that only about half the illegal immigrants in America are Mexican.
Yeah.
A sizable proportion of very nearly half are European.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's several 100,000 Britons in America who shouldn't be there, technically.
Yeah. But I mean, if the illegal immigrants, if they were, whatever, deported, there would, I could see now, I can imagine that the American economy, U.S. economy would go straight down because half the workforce, or most of the workforce that are in America, are, the workers are,
the people in garbage jobs.
Exactly,
the people in rubbish jobs,
Yeah.
Which is what happens to immigrant communities. Oh, I said communities. I really didn't mean. I hate the word communities.
Community.
Yeah.
Me too.
Oh, right. Immigrants. It's always happened. People start at the bottom, and eventually they rise up the social and economic ladder, and you can see the pattern.
Yeah, it's like in the UK, when the immigrants came in the 60s and 70s, they had nothing, and they started from
it started before that. Right, it started with, if you leave out the Flemish weavers, it really, well, actually, they were skilled, they were like middle-class wallers. But immigrants who come in and do all the crap jobs, that started with the Irish, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
And so on and so forth. It happened with the Jews.
Yeah.
This is a phenomenon that's repeated throughout the world.
I mean,
shut up! In Manchester, Leeds, London, Glasgow, the Jewish areas were originally near the railway station.
Yeah.
Because they got off the train and went looking for digs.
I mean, today I saw
Nothing I say, it's like having a fight with someone made out of pastry, this, isn't it? It's ridiculous.
I saw 3 Germans today. They were actually builders.
I saw 3 Germans sailing. Hey! Somebody said the country's full of Polish plasterers.
Yeah.
Well, I saw one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. In Sainsbury's on Regent Road. How do I know he was a Polish plasterer?
Tell me.
Okay, because he's got his shopping bag in one hand, his basket, and he was on his mobile, and I heard him say, "Yes, I do plastering very good all over walls." And honestly, I'm not making that up.
Yeah, well,
I plaster all walls for you. I plaster ceilings as well.
Well, I've got a Polish friend at universities, and she's actually here to study, and she's, she's very good. And she says, they come here to earn a better wage, basically, because they earn 3 times more than they're back in their home country. And then when they've done the job, they've got the money to go back home for whatever, Easter or Christmas, and come back. Most of them don't actually plan to stay permanently because at the end of the day, they want to go back to their own country.
Right, that's lovely, Sad. Once again, how many contentious issues did Sad raise there? Let me see now. No. Okay. Stu in Prestwich says, right, he would, yeah. I understand that Stella Onions' other children are called Red. And Silver Skin, that's pushing it a bit.
That's not a million.
But he does add, you see, I know my onions.
Oh, dear. I've got quite a few emails here. I didn't want to...
Can you get hold of Stella Onions?
What, now? Well, thanks for,
Ideally.
It's a bit late in the day, isn't it? Well, we'll ring Stu.
Well, we don't start till late in the day, do we? We don't start while 10 o'clock.
Well, she might be in bed now.
Well, give her a try.
Give her a try?
Yeah.
Well, she'll love me waking the kids up.
Well, she'll probably be sitting there with her baps out now, won't she?
Oh, James, listen.
What?
I know it's a sensitive issue, and I know you don't really want to talk about it, but you know how I read out the emails?
Well, this seems to be the emerging pattern, yeah.
Well, all the emails are on one subject, really.
Nuclear energy?
No.
Breastfeeding?
No.
Great Clues Street?
No.
I want to mention something about Great Clue Street later.
Okay. Do you want me to be the first one to give you a taste?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, James. This has got to be a Key 103 wind-up. I was listening to the breakfast show just now, and this is the latest news. Apparently, you now wear a goldfish bowl on your head whilst broadcasting, so no one can examine this alleged wig. Is this true? It's got to be a wind-up, says John.
Well, no, obviously I don't wear a goldfish bowl, only when I'm playing at Spaceman.
This thing about your goldfish bowl, says Moira. Is this another Debbie Mack gag, or she's so funny I take my hat off to her, or should I take my goldfish bowl off to her? I've just heard the goldfish bowl joke on the breakfast show. Is it true? Does James wear a goldfish bowl in his head now? I didn't know they made them that big.
Oh!
Is it true that Pele was coming into Q103 for you to interview him and have a kickabout in the studio, but it had to be called off? Apparently, Jackie threatened to take his ball off him and give him a Nasbo.
Oh, yeah, yeah. A bit of social comment there. I like that one.
How do people know about these things? Nikki says, I'm very concerned about this goldfish bowl in your head. If you're using the bowl to keep wig snoopers at bay, where do you keep your goldfish? Aren't you an animal lover? Sounds very fishy to me.
I keep the goldfish in my mouth.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right. I've just heard the goldfish bowl item on Q103.
Oh, how many more of these?
There's loads. Is this another Debbie Mack special? Oh, James, you must be tearing your hair out. That's from Anne. As you know, we pick up the Q103 breakfast show here in Scandinavia. This is from Noggin the Nog. I must say, James, the idea of you with a goldfish ball on your head doesn't do much for your street cred. I can get you a really horny Vikings helmet if you want. Goldfish balls are out.
That'll be good, yeah, because the horns would be like a deterrent to anyone who wants... Not that I don't know, I'm not bothered.
I don't see the point of wearing a goldfish bowl to hide your wig. I mean, we can still see through it. Have you considered a plastic bucket instead?
Yeah, come on, move on to the ones about...
These are all the emails. Please can you put out an appeal for all Sam Walker's listeners to monitor her show for James H. Reeve's wig news. She may be revealing something while we're all asleep. Come on, night owls. Let James know what's going on. That's from Anne. I've just heard the latest fashion news, says Sue in Denton. Goldfish bowls. The very idea of you in a goldfish bowl is really turning me on.
Oh,
it's
God.
so
Well, anything in her case.
You really are my kind of guy. That's about Michelle Ponting. Oh, this is about her relation to Ricky Ponting.
Yeah.
And the Michelle Ponting undercover kangaroo tattoo affair. I've got a plan to expose her. Can you suggest to the boss of Q103, Jackie, that's me, that there should be a naturist week and all staff take part? That should get to the bottom of things.
Well, I'd be reaching for the goldfish bowl under those circumstances.
Yeah.
Because it has a magnifying effect, you know.
James and Jackie, I was wondering what happens to the fish when the bowl is on your head, and how do you get your pizza in and out, says Paul. This one's from Linda. It says, hello, Jackie.
Why do these people remember every little detail of every little thing you've done?
I'm not sure who Matt Spokes is, but he mentioned the rig matter at lunchtime.
I'm not sure what Matt Spokes is. He's Mr. Tumnus, isn't he?
He is, yeah, he's on our page.
Yeah.
Is this the Q103 Jackie and Debbie plot to make it mentioned on every show? If so, it's working a treat. I don't know what she could mean by that.
Frankly, I'm disappointed, to be honest with you, that people who you regard as
friends?
Well, yeah, possibly. Certainly trustworthy colleagues, and this is what they get up to. Sorry if I seem a little distracted. Yeah. I'm assembling something.
It's getting to that stage where it's getting dangerous.
I know, look at the size of that now.
Yeah. It was pinging up into your eye before.
It nearly, it did. Yeah. It's a good job I had my bins on.
Yeah, one hit me.
Did it really?
Yeah.
There we are.
James, breaking news on the text.
Oh, what?
Spa reporting a shortage of tenor lady.
Oh, Mace and Spa. Scallywag, says Flange. This is preposterous. Look, okay, I'll be honest, right. All I'm thinking of is, how long to go now? 26 and a half hours.
Home run.
Yeah.
Ish.
Yeah. Coming in on one engine.
Get in there.
Right. Look, there's a hillman trying to get through.
Oh.
Right. Let's just say, I'm sorry, look, the whole thing is, I don't want it to finish like this. I don't want it all to collapse in ruins. Nigel in Haywood says, hello, James. Is it true that Paul McCartney's divorce is going to cost him an arm and a leg? I'll move on. Oh, dear me. Nicky in Didsbury says, yeah, the Goldfish Bowl is, yeah, prevent any wig tugging. Right. I didn't believe it myself, of course. No, well, neither should you. And frankly, oh, shut up, Ron in Rochdale. I understand it. Right. Yes, yes, yes. Right. Ah, and Jose Gomez in Manchester, believe it or not, he said, that stuff about millions of illegals doing the jobs Americans won't do is only a tiny part of the problem over there and is a rubbish argument that doesn't hold water. It has brought a crime wave, an unsustainable drain on the economy, overall lowering of wages, coupled with the outsourcing of manufacturing on a massive scale to China and India, is creating a lot of bother over there. It is mainly Latinos too, overwhelmingly so. So there, catch up with the curve. I don't know what catch up with the curve means. Is it a cycling term? Is it something you've heard at the velodrome? I couldn't say, really, Jose. But, no, you're mixing up. Yeah, of course. Well, what suits the economy better? What suited the bloated plutocrats better if downward pressure on wages is being caused by people prepared to work for low wages at the bottom end of the scale? That suits the captains of industry fine. And the point is, manufacturing being outsourced to China and India is more than likely to happen if wages are high. I know productivity comes into the argument as well, but if wages are high, then it's much more likely that jobs will be outsourced to China and India. If domestic wages are kept low, then clearly there is less incentive to outsource them to other places. So you catch up with the curve, whatever that means. Oh, that's better. I'm excited myself now. Right, I'm going to have a breather. Look, we're going to start again. I'm sorry I was distracted before. The Goldfish Bowl stuff is, frankly, it's wearing a bit thin. And I'm busy assembling, because I mean to do it before I clear off to Grange-over-Sands, I'm assembling the rubber band ball, which is coming on a treat, and I want to get it finished. So it's like a bit of occupational therapy, really. So if you do hear a bit of a twanging sound in the background, don't worry about it. It's just me. It's all red and swollen now. There we are. I was told that might happen. Right, 0161 288 0103. Topics for tonight, if you've just joined us, if you're just recovering, if you've just been enjoying Barcelona winning the European Cup. Should have given that first goal. Should have allowed that first goal for Bart, actually. Tonight, Prestwich woman moved on after attempting to breastfeed outside the door of number 10 Downing Street. Mrs. Onions, honestly, from Prestwich. 0161 288 0103. Little angels want to liberalise attitudes to breastfeeding. 0161 288 0103. Tony Blair's talking about the energy business. He said that whatever the decision of this inquiry, whatever the findings of this report into the future of our electricity supplies, our energy supplies, he thinks there's no answer, but until they can come up with efficient hydrogen fuel or nuclear fusion, the only answer for the time being, for the foreseeable future, is more nuclear power stations. Otherwise, there's going to be what is euphemistically called a shortfall. We know all the arguments against nuclear energy, but it doesn't alter the fact that there is an ever-increasing demand for electricity. And I'll tell you this, can you imagine, and never mind low-energy light bulbs and what have you, useful though they are, a mere scratch on the surface. You imagine the world without electricity. How long could you survive without electricity? No food in the supermarket, no light, no heating. How long could you survive without electricity? 0161 288 0103. Blair's also said that the vast majority, if not all, foreign nationals convicted of a crime in this country should be deported, irrespective of what might happen to them when they get back to their native country. And also, I've left a piece of paper upstairs, actually, but I have got the findings of this survey about trust. And we don't trust each other anymore. The stories of people... Do you remember... I remember me gran used to, when they went on holiday, which of course was to Blackpool for a week, they used to leave the kitchen window open for the cat to get in and out. And this was in Weast. Can you imagine that? 0161 288 0103. There's a little bit of light on the horizon because we're off to Oldham in a tick. I'm James H. Reeve. It's 21 minutes to 11. And I'm just gonna snap a few more on.
The biggest football tournament in the universe is about to kick off.
England in front, thank goodness for that! Will England go through to Germany 2006?
And you can score your own FIFA World Cup 2006 package with the news of the world and Key 103. Listen to McDonald and Maguire from 9 a.m. this Sunday. Play our penalty shootout to bag yourself a widescreen TV, mini fridge and loads of England gear. Win with Score, the place for all the info on all the games in this Sunday's News of the World. Only on Key 103.
Love Sensation 2006 from Eddie Thurnick and Kurd Maverick. The original and the best. Love Sensation. The ultimate floor filler from Eddie and Kurd. Out now.
Babe, I don't want to scare you, but something very weird is going on.
What's that, love?
We're sitting in TGI's, and I'm eating a delicious Cajun chicken sandwich with fries.
Yes?
But it's daytime, and it's a huge portion, and it cost me less than a £5. It just doesn't make any sense.
Lunch has arrived at TGI Fridays with full-size main courses from just $4.95. Available Monday to Friday, 12 to 3. TGI's in daylight? Try it. It's only a tiny bit weird.
It's not even Friday. I'm telling you, those Americans are up to something.
Now, with Vodafone Mobile Office Solutions, you... Hello? No, I'm in the middle of a voiceover. Yeah, but I thought that was tomorrow. All right, yeah, call you back. Now, with Vodafone Mobile Office Solutions, you can synchronize... No, I'm not quite finished. You keep ringing, then I will, but if you stop ringing, then I'll be finished quicker. You can synchronize your phone diary with your office diary, so you'll never find you should be in two places at once. Text WORK to 84030. Vodafone. Make the most of now. Standard charges apply.
Here's a little-known fact. This month, a Focus Sport TDCi diesel costs less than its 1.6-litre petrol equivalent, giving you up to 60 miles per gallon. That's 42% more than petrol, or 185 miles further on every tank. Crikey! That could be London to Cardiff, Norwich to Leeds, or, my personal favourite, Abbotsdown to Crinkley Bottom. Just ask for 42% extra free with a Focus Sport at your Ford dealer. Terms and conditions apply.
Beep. Introducing BE from Budweiser. A new drink with a mix of caffeine, ginseng and guarana, with 5% ABV and a crisp fruit taste. Grab a BE. Now let's mix it up.
Rain?
Yes, Finger?
Rain, I'm fed up.
Why?
Finger scratch bottom, finger point yourself rudely at the white van driver. I want my own life. I want the freedom to make my own decisions.
Okay, either watch a movie or not watch a movie. You decide this time.
Oh, thank you.
Sky Box Office. All you need is a brain and a finger. This week, In Her Shoes has Cameron Diaz and Toni Collette as chalk and cheese sisters, discovering scandalous family secrets. You'll laugh and cry at the same time. Could get messy if you're eating popcorn. Sky Digital subscribers only. Sky Box Office terms apply.
Did we enjoy In Her Shoes?
Wonderful!
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
James, why don't you paint some rabbits on your head? I can't believe this joke. This joke is... This was found, actually, underneath a dinosaur. They will look like hairs from a distance. Dorothy in Oldham, I bet when was the first time you heard that gag?
What gag?
That one.
What was that?
Rabbits, tattoo rabbits on your head. They look
Never heard of it.
From a distance, they look like hairs.
Oh, yeah. Ha, ha, ha. Hairs.
Yeah.
As in hair coursing.
If you like, yes.
Yes. Don't like it. Don't like thinking about it. Right.
Oh, Dorothy.
What?
You know, we've initiated a new feature. We call them features in show business. It's the Dorothy competition.
Oh, is it?
Did you know about this?
Well, my husband keeps telling me because I've been falling in and out of sleep this last night or two. Nothing to do with you. It's just been one of those incidents, you know, where I've, not felt so clever. But he said it had been mentioned in dispatches.
Yeah, well, after we found out Joan Greenwood for you. And what was the other one?
I have another, but it's a bit complicated now because you're going on your jollies, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's too late now, really, because if Flick's standing in for you, she won't be interested in doing out like this. I know Jackie would, but...
Jackie, well, yeah, Jackie.
Well, Jackie will carry on, won't she, while you're away?
No, she's clearing off somewhere.
She's clearing off as well?
Yeah.
Oh, well, we'll have to get it right by tomorrow, then. You probably would, but...
What was the other one you were... was it Anthony Quinn we were trying to...
you thought... No, it was just a quickie, that... No, I was just referring to somebody who was 71-year-old when he fired his last one.
When he fired his what?
Fired his last child.
Sired, oh, right,
yeah,
sorry, yeah.
So it was going on about Paul McCartney and all the various people, you know, over 60 firing kids, when you were talking about older parents. And I was, we couldn't think of them. It was John what shouted Barabbas, and you shouted Anthony Quinn, and that was correct. Of course it was.
Yeah.
But that wasn't it was just an off-the-cuff comment about older men.
All right.
Incontinent pads. I've got squares, me, you know, big squares and a commode in every room.
Oh, that's handy, isn't it?
And I hope when you go on your holidays you have white pants on and you start with peeing down your rotten leg when you're going in for your evening meal.
What's the basis for that remark?
We're all on 10 ladies, are we?
Hey, look, no, I'm merely passing on.
You can be happy as soon as you're having a baby, it sits on your bladder a little lighter. You've got to wear something even then. Anyway, I'm not bothered, you know, that I wear big squares, just like in Raspberry and Nesbit, that old fella bending down playing bowls. See that big square? Did you ever see that series?
What?
Big square. You could see a big square through his pants, his incontinent square.
Oh, I see. Oh, dear me.
Yes, so I use big squares, me, poor old soul, yeah, and commode at side of me here, one in kitchen, one in the hall. Good God, you paint a pretty picture of us when we get to a certain age.
I know, it's lovely.
I'm sticking off you with your head.
Can you not cough with confidence these days, Dorothy?
No. But I'm confident that your hair and your head is yours.
Oh, but of course it is.
I know it is. I've seen you on the telly.
I've got lovely flowing...
Well, not recently, but...
But it'd
when
be nice
you used to be that other fellow with red hair.
Be nice to see me in colour, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, it's a magnificent mane. It's like, I would say, a sort of a brunette Michael Heseltine, really, or a bit of perhaps of a Braveheart, don't you think? Something along those lines.
I haven't seen you recently, but I know that. Have you got contact lens now?
I have, yes, knocking about somewhere. I can't find them though. Do you know?
Put your glasses back on.
I struggled with contact lenses at first, but now I can put them in with my eyes closed.
Well, can I just tell you, unless you probably already know, you know Mr. Dickens doing a similar programme to you at weekends now. Started last weekend's pinchy thing.
Mike Dickens.
I've been for it.
Fred.
Yeah, he's not called it Series and Queries, but he's doing it. He says he enjoyed it that much he's going to do it every week.
Fred Emney?
At weekends.
Is he?
Well, you're off then, you say.
Well, he probably pinched the idea off Dave Spikey.
I don't know, he's pinched it off, but he decided to do it last weekend.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, and I thought, oh dear.
We'll be suing.
Well, see, if you weren't such a naughty girl, Dorothy...
Well, do you mean for listening to that?
Yes.
Well, I don't like him very much. It's just that I've nothing else to do.
Oh, right. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, music's lovely, but, you know...
So they say. Listen, we're after a new Dorothy competition.
Well,
a lot of
but
people.
it's a bit late now, isn't it, when you're going on holiday? Because who's taking over Flick?
I don't know, really, to be honest with you. I'm not turning the place upside down to find out.
Well, they won't be bothering, will they, while you're away?
We're going regardless.
And his jacket's clearing up as well.
Yeah. They put the emergency tape on, I think.
All right, then.
Yeah.
It's about,
Do you fancy doing it, Dorothy?
Well, yeah, but I'm all over the place, as usual, you know.
Yeah. We should have had a competition, shouldn't we, really?
Oh, yeah, we could have done.
Yeah.
Well, it's...
See how you like it, we could have called it.
It's the name. I don't know the name of the film.
Oh, that's a good place to start. We did specify. Somebody said, look, why don't we have a Dorothy competition? Because they actually thought it was a competition to win prizes to see.
I know, I heard Sal that it was a weekend with Jackie in Paris and a week at Scunthorpe or something with you.
So I understand, yeah. But I said it will have to be something Dorothy can't remember, you know.
I can't remember nothing, only one thing about it.
I said, it would have to be, it's got to be like a proper thing. It can't be just like Dorothy can't remember
her glasses.
Yeah, she can't remember where she put her reading glasses.
Oh, I know that. Yeah. Obviously, I'm not going to be as silly as that. I know I'm a silly old incontinent woman, from all accounts, according to James H. But nevertheless, they'll be all at you. Should be all at you tonight over this.
That was merely the view of a punter.
Yeah.
And not necessarily that of Key 103 or its parent company or their employees or advertising agents.
Anyway, I hope you don't wear down your pants on your, with your white pants and on your holiday while you're out in the Seychelles.
That rubber band nearly took me.
I've got 6 rubber bands, but I'm not having them. You can't have them yet.
Why? What are you doing with them?
I'm waiting till I get 60.
Oh, okay then. Well, I'm fashioning the sphere now as we speak. Listen, I'll tell you what happened to me once. I was in. It was a lovely summer's night, and this was in somebody's parents' house. You see, and I nipped up to the carsy like you do. And obviously, with it being...
Does you have one downstairs like us?
No, it's all upstairs. It's one of that style of house where it's in this little separate room next to the bathroom, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Hardly enough space to turn round.
Yeah.
And, of course, with it being a warm day, I got a pair of pants on, which were light in both hue and manufacture. Right? So there I am, and I'm having a tinkle, having a tiddle, and what happens? Shall I tell you what happened? Of course, I put the toilet light on, and
you didn't bruise yourself, did you, when you turned round quick?
No. Oh. But guess what happens when you put a light on on a summer's night with the window open?
Well, all the moths come in.
Absolutely. Well, this moth, honest to God, this moth came in.
My God, please don't.
Yeah, no.
We're going into a panic attack now, thinking about
It came in through the window.
Oh, a black one and all.
And it must, honestly, it came in through the bathroom window, as Paul McCartney once famously wrote, and it must have had a crew of 6, this moth.
Oh, God, I know, all the family.
Yeah. And it hit me right between the eyes.
They do, don't they? They bang into you.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I know, I've had it abroad. Oh, it's terrible.
As a consequence of which, I was somewhat startled and
it wouldn't matter if you've been a bit hit and miss, you can cope with it, but if you're sober...
But, you see, I was so startled that I relinquished my hold, if you're with me.
Did she have a drip mat on the floor?
No, that was not necessary, because I weed all over the front of my pants.
Yeah.
Now, this is difficult, you see, because...
Oh, it will be when you start with your prostate trouble.
Well...
It'll come, you'll get it.
But you see, downstairs, there was a room full of people waiting for me to come back.
I know. Waiting you to, yeah.
Yeah?
Did you have, you like coloured pants and all?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you see, you can get away with them if they're like a nice charcoal colour or something like that, can't you?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's getting a bit tricky, this one now. There we are. Right. Anyway, what's the competition?
Well, it's a competition, you call it a competition. Well, it's a 1970s to 80s film, and it's colour.
Right.
Now, I know the name of the woman, but if I tell you, you'll guess it right away.
Well, I am like that, yeah.
I know, yes, I know. I was trying to look for a French word to describe you, but I couldn't get my tongue round it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you mean that one? Yeah, go on, keep going, yeah.
So, she's, some might call her ginger, I call her a strawberry blonde, and she's tall-ish, and she's slim, and she's a bit freckly-faced, and she's fresh-looking, very English rose-ish.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and I think the film was made somewhere probably late 70s, early 80s, as I've said. Colour, not black and white. I'll give you a clue to what she does today rather than acting. She's a little bit more political now. She's not a politician, but she has been recently a political mouthpiece. I know, an hand-wringer. You go, I know, but in this film, she's got a husband and she's got a 7-year-old little girl. And she entertains American troops. I'm not so sure exactly whether it was on a RAF field or what, but she was entertaining them, and then the officer used to come. Now, this officer's got teeth and thin lips.
He's got teeth?
He's all teeth and thin lips. I wouldn't have liked to kiss him when I was young. I still wouldn't, even now at my old age. But he's an American, but I think he might be a Canadian really acting as American, but he's been in loads of war films. But I don't really know his name. I'm not really bothered about him very much, but she tended to have an affair with him, and she has a very, very well-known actor husband, and he's the name I can't remember. Now, he went off to war, Yanks doing what they were doing, they were over here and now we were over there, and of course they were at it. They fell in love, well, whatever it was they were doing, and hubby goes off to war, and they're having a jolly old time together. He's a married man with a wife in America. This fellow with the teeth. People might know who he is, I don't know.
Fellow with the teeth?
Yes, he's well known, but he's very thin-lipped, and he's got a lot of teeth. And teeth.
Yes.
Teeth. You know, them sort of old teeth.
Hampsteads?
Well, yeah. But, you know, I don't like him. He's very thin-featured. But he is pretty well known in sort of war films and that. But hubby goes off to, she's got this 7-year-old kiddie, and hubby goes off to war, and they think he might not come back because I don't know whether he's injured or whatever, and they think he's dead or whatever. And he turns up, and he is a well-known actor, very, very well-known.
Not round, Dorothy, you just did another rack out then, didn't you?
Listen, it's that John. He went and got fish and chips earlier, and I've been in an awful state. That's why I didn't think I could have rang up.
Oh, have you got heartburn?
He's had to rub my back. Heartburn?
Oh.
My word.
Has he had to burp you?
I've had to be sucking mints for half an hour before I could phone up. Yeah, that's another thing, yeah. Oh, gosh. Anyway, her husband turns up in the latter of the film, but he's only got one leg.
Oh, dear.
He lost his leg. Now, he's a tall gentleman. He's around, I would say, the age group of maybe Trevor Howard, well-known, them sort of, that, you know, but he's not called Trevor Howard, obviously.
No.
I don't know what he's called, but if somebody says his name, I'll know who it is. He is a distinguished actor.
See, that text is
very English, very, very English. So he's English.
Well, no, he's not called Vanessa Redgrave, is he? Obviously.
No, he's not called Vanessa Redgrave.
No.
Is he? Eka's called Vanessa Redgrave. You mentioned Vanessa Redgrave.
Someone's texted in.
Yeah, it's, you know.
Who said Vanessa Redgrave? Am I supposed to say yes or no? No, yeah, or yeah or no? I'll have to say, if somebody texted it in.
Yeah.
Well, we've got to have the benefit of knowing, yeah, it's her. But I want to know who this man is.
So we're
There's
looking...
that other fellow as well, who she were having it off with.
Right, we're looking...
And what was the name of the film?
Sounds like Gone with the Wind.
Oh, gosh, please, I've only done it once. It was an
No,
accident.
I don't mean you. Oh, dear me.
No!
Dorothy's Got Wind. Great films that never quite made it.
No, it did make it. I saw it on the telly.
Yes, all right. Oh, dear God.
But it's a proper film.
All right, so we're looking for a thin-lipped man with teeth.
I know, but her husband is a very well-known English actor.
Right, in real life.
His name, he came back with only one leg. He lost a leg fighting for the country.
In
the film.
In the film, not in real life.
Yes, it's all about the film. She's got a 7-year-old daughter. She makes tea for the Americans. The officer comes round just to make sure everything's all right with her because she's on her own. And I'm not so sure whether hubby's in the RAF or the Army. But Army, my husband said the Army.
It's not Mrs. Miniver, is it?
No, he said.
All right, okay.
Don't get into this.
We do this together, you say.
Yes, I know. Hey, what a husband and wife act you are. In
Yeah.
fact, now after the sad news about the McCartneys, I think there's only you and him that can be held up as an example to us all, Dorothy.
Oh, gosh, we'll never hear the end of this, will we? The McCartneys. So, that is about as much as, you know...
That's all you can give us. So we're police looking for a thin-lipped man.
You're looking for a thin-lipped American guy, as they would call him, with a lot of teeth.
Yeah, you keep saying that with a lot of teeth.
Because I don't like his teeth or his mouth. But he is a well-known American actor. But it's her husband that I'm more interested in.
Okay.
Because he's a very, very English actor. I'd say I'd put him pretty much on a par in the name thing with Trevor Howard, Richard Burton, that kind of era. I think he's probably still alive.
Right.
He could well be still alive because he's not... Well, like I said, the film was made in the late 70s, early 80s. Well, he's probably not all that very old, you know. He's probably about the same age as her. It was made in the 60s. He just said it was made in the 60s.
Okay, then. Right, lovely.
God above, he's just done me head in it. You know, I was saying 70s and 80s for a week.
Yes, all right, then. Well, right, so that's
Has that caused enough confusion now?
Yes, indeed. That's plenty for us to go on. So, that's the new Dorothy competition, but it's got to be solved within the next 26 hours, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well, we're on to it. British actor, thin lips. Now, is it him with the thin lips or the American?
The American's got the thin lips. His husband's got one leg.
Right.
Comes
Okay.
back with one leg missing.
Okay, so we're looking for a one-legged English actor.
He comes back in his uniform with a walking stick, yes.
Right.
And at the end of the film...
And a septic who's got very thin jockeys
A septic? We also want to know why you keep calling these Yanks septics.
Septic tank.
Ah, of course.
Yeah.
You see, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've got a...
Silly old me.
Right, so we've got a septic with very thin jockeys and a mouthful of Amsterdams.
Yeah, I've done a load of American war films.
Right. Gotcha. Okay, then. Thank you very much indeed. We'll put that on the website.
And the time starts now.
All right, does it? Thank you very much indeed. That's the new Dorothy competition. God's truth. What's it come to? Right, 0161 288 0103. I mean, it's 11 o'clock has arrived now, and I think we do get a new shift coming on who've been in the boozer, which obviously has its upside and its downside. But I'll refresh your memory. I'll jog you as regards the list of topics which I fully intended to offer for discussion this evening. But as you can probably tell, things have gone very badly wrong already. It's 1 minute past 11, and I'm going to do this now.
Toolin in the morning. Back tomorrow from 6 on Manchester's Key 103.
As the largest Peugeot dealer group in the Northwest, Elton Garages have negotiated an unprecedented bulk deal with Peugeot, meaning incredible savings are passed on to you. Introducing Elton's exclusive Cup range. Get a 107, 206, a 1007 or a 307 and save up to 25%. There are only 120 of these cars available in the group, so make sure you secure yours in time. The brand new Cup range, up to 25% off while stocks last. Only at Elton Garages Peugeot in Bury, Manchester, Oldham and Rochdale.
Rain?
Yes, Finger?
Rain, I'm fed up.
Why?
Finger scratch bottom, finger point yourself rudely at the white van driver. I want my own life. I want the freedom to make my own decisions.
Okay. Either watch a movie or not watch a movie. You decide this time.
Oh, thank you.
Sky Box Office. All you need is a brain and a finger. This week, In Her Shoes has Cameron Diaz and Toni Collette as chalk and cheese sisters discovering scandalous family secrets. You'll laugh and cry at the same time. Could get messy if you're eating popcorn. Sky Digital subscribers only. Sky Box Office terms apply.
Did we enjoy In Her Shoes?
Wonderful. Oh.
Beat. Introducing BE from Budweiser. A new drink with a mix of caffeine, ginseng and guarana with 5% ABV and a crisp fruit taste. Grab a BE. Now let's mix it up.
With great fares from VirginAtlantic.com, you can afford to splash out.
Come on, kids. You don't get lobsters like these back at home. Which one do you want?
Don't like lobster. Me neither.
Oh, look at that one wriggling in his tank, look. Look, he's waving at you.
Fly return to Barbados, Antigua, St. Lucia and the Bahamas from only £599. Get this and other great Virgin Atlantic fares at VirginAtlantic.com. Book by May the 21st. Terms and conditions apply. Restricted availability.
Babe, I don't want to scare you, but something very weird is going on.
What's that, love?
We're sitting in TGI's, and I'm eating a delicious Cajun chicken sandwich with fries.
Yes.
But it's daytime, and it's a huge portion, and it cost me less than a £5. It just doesn't make any sense.
Lunch has arrived at TGI Fridays with full-size main courses from just $4.95. Available Monday to Friday, 12 to 3. TGI's in daylight? Try it. It's only a tiny bit weird.
It's not even Friday. I'm telling you, those Americans are up to something.
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, something else has just suggested itself as well, and to be quite frank, Jackie and I have had a difference of opinion in the on the premises here. Excuse me, I just riffed a little. Please play anything by U2. Oh, righto. Reeves, you don't work for Channel 4 News, do you, pal? Reeves, your show is sinking to an all-time low. Dorothy the leaking whelk. With a neighbour like her, you would leave home, but you force her into our homes. Thanks, pal. Sometimes I wonder whether I should be doing this, but it's things like that make it all worthwhile. Right. When I think of you in future, I will think of a big urine stain. Okay. You're a big fish in Dorothy's...
Pond.
Oh, right, okay, right.
Some more emails,
Hurry up, we've got another thrilling Hillman waiting to speak to us.
I've just been monitoring the entertainment news. This came through earlier. The good news is Alex Darby didn't mention the wig affair. Perhaps no one sent her the memo. Hi James, I thought it was very unfair of Tool and Chelsea to take the mick out of you this morning. It sets a bad example when youngsters poke fun at the older generation, says John. Hi Jackie.
Well, that had a sting in the tail.
Hi Jackie, I'm very concerned about James and this goldfish bowl thing. There's a definite health and safety issue here, especially if he starts to turn blue. Please keep on ironing, won't you? Hey chaps, says Jackie, the Jackie Finnegan Birthday Spectacular Show. Is it all ticket, or can we just turn up? I don't know how many your studio holds, but I assume that the advice is to get there early. Is James laying on a buffet, or is he standing upright? And that would be the 8th of June.
Upright.
The 8th of June.
Upright.
Upright. Good evening, James. I was in Liverpool yesterday and saw some of the drama about the Second World War bomb. They made a lot of fuss, as you might expect, but when the actual explosion was shown on the news, it was a bit of an anticlimax, I thought. I've heard louder fireworks going off around here, and that's from Harold in Gorton.
He wasn't in Liverpool, he didn't travel that far.
Moira says, hello, James, I'm very disappointed.
His pass isn't valid outside the Greater Manchester area.
Oh, yeah. Hello James, I'm very disappointed to know I still haven't had your application form or subscription for membership with the Jackie Finnegan fan club. After myself, I understand you're one of Jackie's biggest fans.
I knew this was a mistake. When they talked about restructuring things, I knew on that day it was a mistake.
Some more here. Hi Jackie, as the producer and boss of the Key 103 talk show, please can we have a Eurovision Song Contest special on a Thursday night show? If I ask Old Grumpy, that would be you, I think. He'll just say no, you know what he's like when it comes to great ideas. Thanks Jackie. And that's from Linda.
Yeah, right.
Moira, hi Jackie, this is important. You know how forgetful James is at the best of times. Well, please try and ensure he pulls the water away before he puts the bowl on his head. Very messy otherwise. Wet wigs are yucky.
I just can't take any more of this entertainment.
Oh, this is interesting, actually. Very exciting news. Hi, James. Very exciting news on the Royal Mail front. I had a parcel delivered today, and I was rather shocked to find it had a green elastic band around it.
Oh, really?
I'm doing a separate appeal for green elastic... Oh, my God. Collecting a load of green ones.
What do you think? Oh, is Red very 2005?
Oh, it's out now, yeah.
All right.
So yesterday. Which is a shame.
Better hurry up with that one.
Spent a lot of time on
That's
it.
about as big as a medium-priced melon, that isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
I would
actually,
say.
yeah.
Yeah. Right, let's talk to an interesting person now. Oh no, we can't. So let's go to Doncaster.
James!
Hello.
Listen.
What?
I'm not well known.
No, that's true.
For my many varied hairstyles.
No, you've only got the one, really, haven't you?
I tend to stick to the same one.
Yeah, short back and polish.
But I've never stooped to wearing a wig. Listen!
Nobody's wearing a wig!
I know why you're wearing a wig.
I am not wearing a wig!
You look like me! Hey!
What?
The truth is out.
It is not...
Listen!
This is a farce.
You can come clean. There's no shame in being bald.
I am not bald. I have a magnificent head of hair.
Yeah. And then you wake up. Listen. Before
I'm listening. I'm listening.
I'm going to ask you something in a minute about the World Trade Towers, because I've got you on that.
The World Trade Centre.
The World Trade Towers.
Or the Twin Towers.
The Twin Towers,
World Trade
yeah.
Centre.
Yeah.
Twin Towers.
But just before I do, I want to point out a mistake that you made the other night, because
You'll be lucky.
You seem to think that you'd won the argument on the fluoride content, the aluminium content in tea bags, by asking me if I knew what it meant in science if a test had not been repeated.
If an experiment cannot be repeated, yeah.
But you didn't say if an experiment cannot be repeated. You said the experiment hadn't been repeated.
Yeah.
There's a subtle difference there. Now, you see,
well, subtlety, you're the man.
Listen, I've spoken to a scientist about this, right?
Oh, did he have a white coat on?
Listen to this.
How do you know he was a scientist?
Listen, because he teaches science. Listen.
Well, he's a teacher then.
He's of science.
Yeah.
Listen.
Not a scientist, though, is he?
He is a scientist, in fact.
He's a teacher.
Well, he is now, but he was a scientist.
So you spoke to an ex-scientist?
Yes,
well,
now a teacher of science.
Things might have moved on since he was a scientist.
No, he keeps up to date. Listen, shut up!
I'm not saying anything.
Listen,
I'm speechless.
Tea bag, right?
Oh, the tea bag. What about the bloody tea bag?
Hey, do I not swearing? I'm greatly offended. Listen.
What?
It is nothing particular to do with what the tea bag is made of, right? Aluminium is in the tea, because tea is a plant which sucks up aluminium from the Earth's crust, right? Now listen, get your head around this. When aluminium fluoride, right, if aluminium combines with fluoride in your body, it becomes aluminium oxide, and it's aluminium oxide which is found in the brains that are diseased with Alzheimer's. So that's what they're worried about, you see.
Yes. Now, on the other hand, we are told, we are on a weekly basis told things like eating chocolate's good for you and all this sort of thing. We've also been told, because of the great interest in this ailment of late, that drinking lots of tea can actually help to prevent Alzheimer's. Now, I find this, and I'm not propounding this, I am offering you the opportunity, Garfield, of explaining this. How can it be that this infusion, which produces aluminium oxide, which is, are you trying one there? Everyone's very windy tonight, aren't they? Have you noticed? Everyone's gurgling a bit. That this compound, which on the one hand is supposed to contribute to Alzheimer's, is simultaneously apparently able to prevent it.
No. Aluminium in your blood doesn't do any harm, because your body doesn't absorb aluminium. It's only when aluminium enters the body whilst mixed with fluoride that it becomes aluminium fluoride. Aluminium oxide. That's the problem.
Right, okay.
So you can take as much table salt as you like if you want, well, apart from the fact that you'll have high blood pressure.
Yeah, so that's not true.
What's not true?
That you can have as much salt as you want. You can if you want to explode.
But the aluminium that's added to table salt won't do you any harm. The aluminium in tea will.
Right, okay then. When did you decide that you needed another string to your bow?
Eh?
And stop playing the girl from Ipanema on your organ.
Oh, no,
and
I
decided that you'd get a job with CSI.
Listen, I still play the girl from Ipanema on the organ, but this is more annoying. Listen, the World Trade Towers. You said.
Did you just say this is more annoying, and therefore preferable?
Yeah. Listen.
What?
The World Trade Towers.
Centre
then. You said there's no truth in the conspiracies.
That's right, yeah.
Now, do you know what worries me about that?
What?
Everybody, all they ever say when you start approaching any subject, not just the World Trade Centres, right?
Good recovery, yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
yeah, right.
They all say, oh, it's another conspiracy. That's all you ever hear. And then they just wash away the entire information that's there.
Right, listen, you. Right, I've had enough now.
Did you know...
No,
listen. The correlation...
Listen.
Correlation Street, what?
Between the number 11 and the World Trade Towers. Have you ever read it?
Centre.
Oh, never mind.
Oh, well, just a minute.
Well, just listen to this.
If a man can't be relied upon to get the name, to correctly state the name of what he's talking about...
They are the Twin Towers. It was the Twin Towers that went down.
Yeah, the Twin Towers, the World Trade Centre.
Yes, but they are the Twin Towers.
Yes, but they're not called the World Trade Towers.
But you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, fair enough, yeah. Why bother with accuracy, yeah.
Well, you're just being pedantic.
No, pedantic is what people who don't know something call someone who does.
No, listen. The first ever attack on Afghanistan was on September the 11th. 11 years to the date of the World Trade Towers blowing up.
Centre
then! Right?
Yes.
So we've got 911. 11 years later, we've got another 911. Now, 911 just happens to be the emergency number in America.
Yes.
Oh, everyone said that.
It was Flight 11, right, that hit the first World Trade Tower. New York City is the 11th state, right?
What do you mean it's the 11th state? What do you mean it's... What does that mean?
It's the 11th state. There's 50 states in America.
And what do you mean it's the 11th state?
It's the 11th state.
They're not in order.
No, they're all numbered.
They've all got a number, have they?
Yes.
All states have got a number.
It was the 11th state added to America.
No.
It was. Check up. I've got it here in black and white.
From the mail?
So it was the 11th of the original 13 states.
It was the 11th state, yes, added to the original states.
What are you talking about now? Look, there were 30... Oh.
Flight 11 had got 92 on board. 9 and 2 is 11.
Yeah.
Flight 77 had 65 on board. 6 and 5 is 11.
Yeah.
Now, Flight 77's in...
Hey, and 7 and 7's 11, isn't it?
Hey, 7 and 7's not 11, no. That's 14.
No, it isn't. Now
but wait a minute.
Now I think about
Flight 77, Flight 77, that's 7-11s, right? And 7-11 garages are what funded the building of the Twin Towers. Huh, what a coincidence that is.
Well, I'll go to our house.
Well, there you go.
And it's the name of an off licence as well, isn't it?
Yeah, but you know something?
What others available, though?
Yeah.
What you're going to say is, oh, this is a coincidence, aren't you?
That's right.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
How many coincidences do you need?
Well, you've heard the ones about Abraham Lincoln and John F. Kennedy, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Booth, hid in a theatre, shot in a theatre, hid in a warehouse, shot in a...
That's right.
All that. Take no... Johnson succeeded... Yeah.
And you think all that's a coincidence as well?
Garage, not...
Well, tell me something then. In 1865...
Yeah.
And 1963, which, interestingly, is exactly 98 years later. Tell me something then. How could there possibly... tell me in what way that could be anything other than a total coincidence.
In what way?
Yeah.
Because the people that are controlling the planet code things.
Oh, do they?
Symbolically.
Right.
And when you understand the codes and the symbols, you start to see it.
Right. So they hide a code in things. These people who are so clever that they run the planet without us knowing it.
Well, some people are starting to know it. The information is being covered.
Oh, it's gradually being unravelled, is it?
It's being unravelled as we sit here talking now,
So just to help us find out what's going on, they put a secret code in things for
No, it's not to help us at all.
No, that's right.
It's so that they can code things. It's so that they know what's gone on. It's their way of marking the history.
Oh, this is fascinating.
But their minds work differently to ours. You've got to understand how their minds work.
Because you've worked it out, so that's
Well, I haven't worked it out. No.
These people who are running the world go to all the trouble of putting secret codes in things so that an organist from Doncaster can rumble them and expose them to the whole world thanks to Key 103's global footprint.
Listen.
What? Have you ever heard of a place called Altrincham?
Yes, of course I have.
Apart from Tiddlywinks?
Of course I have.
Right, well, could you get here at some time during June to the Masonic Hall? Because there's a meeting on that'll just suit you.
Listen.
Hello?
Do you know that you sleep about 8 hours out of every 24?
I wish that were the case, but go on.
Eh?
We don't.
All right, yes, for the sake of argument.
Well, most people sleep about 8 hours. That's normal, to sleep 8 hours in every 24.
Okay.
Yeah? So so you only live 2/3 of your life, do you know that?
Well, no, you live your whole life.
So many days that you spend so many years on a toilet and so many years doing this.
No, you are only awake for 2/3 of your life.
My mate spent 2 days on a toilet.
Listen.
Yeah, and I don't mean over the course of his life. That was over the course of 2 days.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Non-stop.
Yeah.
Listen, you can't explain. You can't explain to somebody about all the codes and all the symbols and all the signs in a phone call like this, because I've got a lecture on this, right, that lasts for 14 hours, right?
Oh no!
Oh my goodness, can we have guest lists?
Does Fidel Castro know about this?
Listen, this guy lectures for 14 hours on this to get his point across.
Do they put on a buffet?
It's a 2-day speech.
Right, is it? Yeah.
So they must put on a buffet.
Yeah.
Can we go?
I'm sorry, I blacked out for a moment.
Well, how can he? He can't make it all up, can he?
Yes.
Of course not!
Yes, he can. Why not?
Well, because it's checkable.
Look, I'm going to have to put my foot down here.
Well, have you ever heard of David Percy?
David Percy?
Yeah.
Henry Percy, I've heard
He
of.
did the Face on Mars thing with Richard Hoagland. Have you ever heard of him?
I know the Face on Mars thing, yeah.
Yeah.
That's another load of knob.
Well, it can't be, can it? He superimposed the complex of Cydonia over Avebury, and it fits exactly if you scale it down 14 miles on Mars to 1 mile on Earth.
Oh, of course, 14, it's obvious.
Yeah.
No, he played around until it fits.
Well, we've all done that in our time.
Yeah, but you can't fit the exact... Every single landmark fits exactly.
Why are you telling me this?
Because you're talking about conspiracies.
Yeah, but look.
Well, what I'm trying to say is there are some factual checkable evidence in some conspiracies which are beyond explanation.
Yeah, but they do not establish a conspiracy. Let me tell you something.
Well, they establish something very unusual.
Right. There is no need for people to conspire. There is no need. Certainly, if you were running the world... Look, let's look at the Enigma machine.
What, the Illuminati are you talking about?
No, but I expect you're going to shortly, and it's probably only a matter of time before Nostradamus puts in an appearance, I would have thought.
No, I don't believe Nostradamus.
Oh, well, there's no kidding you. There's no pulling the wool over your eyes, then, is there?
Listen, right?
100% wool over your eyes.
Nostradamus made 104 predictions, do you know that? That were accurate.
Right.
And they were all wrong.
Oh, well, yeah, that's excellent then, yeah.
Blimey, no, honestly, he made 100... There was only 104 times when he actually pointed to a date, a specific date, and on every one of those occasions he was wrong.
Well, I tell you what...
all the rest of it were vague.
Gary Dakey must be green with envy.
Listen! I forgot what I was saying now.
Good, excellent. That's normally the way it works. That was, we've just had an accompanying comment. James, why do you give that Yorkshire numpty airtime? Surely Clint is waiting to come on and wow us with his lethargic tones. Thank you. Listen. Ha ha ha, he is so funny. There we are. Oh, isn't it awful? Isn't it? Oh, there is no bloody hope whatsoever. Actually, there was a reference here to Mrs. Onions. Mrs. Onions, the woman who was apprehended for breastfeeding outside number 10 Downing Street. I can't find it now. Oh dear. Oh, we'll have to come back to that one. There you are. I'm sorry to have raised your hopes in that sense. Oh, and I got big news for you, says Paul in Oldham. Not really, but try this. You know the lovely Karita, the Viking queen who was best known for ravishing Noggin the Nog? Well, did you know that she represented Finland in the 1974 Eurovision Song Contest? How about that? That's more than just a coincidence, Paul, if you ask me.
Key 103.
With great fares from VirginAtlantic.com, you can afford to splash out.
Come on, kids. You don't get lobsters like these back at home. Which one do you want?
Don't like lobster. Me neither.
Oh, look at that one wriggling in his tank, look. Look, he's waving at you.
Fly return to Barbados, Antigua, St. Lucia and the Bahamas from only £599. Get this and other great Virgin Atlantic fares at VirginAtlantic.com. Book by May the 21st. Terms and conditions apply. Restricted availability.
Beep, 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 beep. Introducing BE from Budweiser. A new drink with a mix of caffeine, ginseng and guarana. With 5% ABV and a crisp fruit taste. Grab a BE. Now let's mix it up.
Liz, you've waited so long for me to say this. You've been so patient. But at long last I'm ready, so here goes. Liz, will you marry me? Liz?
Pro Plus. It beats nodding off.
Relieves temporary tiredness, contains caffeine, always read the label.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a home on the beautiful island of Cyprus? Come to the Cyprus Property Exhibitions from Perfilia. This Friday in Oldham or Manchester, Saturday near Macclesfield, or Sunday near Wigan or Bolton. There's free admission and free advice on our complete range of properties. So visit our Cyprus Property Exhibitions. This Friday in Oldham at the Menzies Avent Hotel, or in Manchester at the Radisson Edwardian Hotel. This Saturday near Macclesfield at Shrigley Hall Hotel, or this Sunday near Wigan at the Killycourt Hotel Standish, or near Bolton at the Last Drop Village Hotel Bromley Cross, from 10 a.m. till 5. Call 08000 850 870 for more details, or see local press.
The James H. Reeve phone in on Key 103.
It's Raquel time.
Call now on 0161 288 0103.
And how often is that little booby trap lying in wait for us?
I don't know what he's talking about.
We better talk to a hillman, haven't we?
Yeah.
Who's this? Steve in Liverpool. Come on, this is just an endless stream of rubbish. Are you going to improve the situation?
What do you mean, rubbish?
Up till now, are you gonna make things better?
I'll have a go. I'll have a good go.
Right.
Listen, I've listened to you for like 20 years, right? And you're fantastic and things like that.
Oh no, please don't.
How much did you pay?
I'm gonna have to ask you to stop this before midnight.
All right. Well,
Okay.
there's been a European Cup final on. I've had a drink and
Oh God. Yeah.
I've got a story.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. This is pertaining to me, right, and civil rights. Now, I remember years ago.
Can I interrupt you for a second?
Yeah.
How did you go on during the recent bombing?
How did I?
Were you all right?
I was well away from it.
Okay, that's good. Right. Yeah. You know the bomb that they found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 60 years away from it, actually.
Yeah. Well, I know it didn't hit you at the time. I mean, but it only blew up the other day.
Well, I was nowhere near that either.
That's good, because we do take a personal interest in the welfare.
All right, well, listen to this, James.
all our
Like,
helmets,
you were, like, you in the 80s were Labour, 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 I'm a socialist, all this, right?
Mm.
Now, you and your ilk, like...
My
Ben
ilk?
Elton.
Yeah.
All these, you know, who were there when the Tories were in power.
Yeah.
Vote Labour. You're conspicuous by your absence now, aren't you?
Oh, I'm here now.
But you don't exactly, you know, advocate Labour, voting Labour.
Well, no, because I would advise that if there was a choice between voting Conservative and slitting the throats of your children, that you would take the latter course. If that was the only choice that you had.
Yeah.
However, that was on the assumption that Labour would be an improvement on the Conservatives. And the tragedy is that in the last, I would say probably, all right, they bumped along a bit with the Bernie Ecclestone business and what have you, and the Dome and what have you. But really, since the Iraq, I don't know what word to use. I was going to say...
It's not just the Iraq, though, is it? It's like the situation in this country is, like, ridiculous.
Well, they're coming adrift. I mean, listen, I was going to say, if I were to say that the Iraq business was a fiasco, that doesn't really convey it, because a fiasco sounds as if you didn't really know what you were doing. But they knew exactly what they were doing. So I need a word which means a monumental lash-up, but one deliberately arrived at and carefully sought after and pursued.
What pertains to this country?
No, I'm talking about it was Iraq where it all really started to fall apart.
No, not really. I mean, the people I know, you know, it's the situation in this country right now.
What situation?
The situation where I originally phoned you up over the parking ticket, right? Shall I tell you about it?
You can if you want, yeah.
Okay, well, I parked in residential parking where I live. Okay?
Yes, that's okay, yeah. Well, it's obviously not okay, because I suspect, but yeah,
all
go
right,
on.
well, the council decided to make it permit holders only.
Yeah.
Now, I work all day, so I'm in and out, and I came in one day, went out one day, and I had a parking ticket on my car. Now, I took a day off work to go down and pay this ticket and appeal against it because I live there.
Right, and do you have to have a residence a residence permit?
Not to my knowledge, no. Right, I've been here 2 years, and not to my knowledge that they said you need a residence permit.
Well, it's usually on a sign on a lamppost, isn't it?
Well, it is now, yeah, but it wasn't when I moved in.
But when they changed it, did they put the sign up?
What's this got to do with the Labour government?
It's got everything to do with them.
Yeah, and how soon are we going to find out the exact connection?
Okay,
Oh, God, well, obviously, I don't know. No wonder he got booked for... He could have been... We should have established a no-waiting zone there, shouldn't we? Right, that was rubbish. Actually, there was a message here. James, please, could you tell me what a conspiracy is? Says Jody in Swinton. Right, a conspiracy is it's an agreement to pursue a course of action. It is Latin. Its root is Latin, meaning con means together with, and What's spire? Spire. I think it means to swear together. That's right, it does. It means to swear, as in an oath. In other words, to make an agreement with people. That's a conspiracy. And conspiracies can be genuine, as in a conspiracy. It's the conspiracy, for example, to assassinate Adolf Hitler. That was a conspiracy. That's a course of action pursued by a number of people with an agreed purpose, not necessarily known to others outside the group. God blimey, I just made that up off the top of my head. That was brilliant, wasn't it?
That applies to most murderers, surely.
What?
That applies to most murderers.
What does?
If anyone does anything that they've planned.
No, by a group of people.
By a group.
Deciding upon a course of action.
Yeah. Oh. Like the gunpowder plot.
The gunpowder pot. The gunpowder pot. Sorry, I've got an attack of Stanley Unwin.
I was like that last night.
Gunpowder pot and blowing the houses up under the parlour moulders. Shall we bring back... I think actually it's time to resurrect Stanley Unwin, because I think a whole new generation is not aware of the great gifts which he possessed. But, yeah, so there. So there are two types of conspiracy. One is the genuine one, and the other is the completely imaginary one, which exists in the minds of people who haven't got anything better to do, like the assassination of John F. Kennedy, and how many... bringing down the Twin Towers, this, that, and the other, you know... No, the moon landing, all that sort of thing. They exist only in the minds of people who, well, because there's nothing else in the mind to get in the way. That's all right? Thank you. Right. Hello, James, says Jeff in Withington, who still actually hasn't done anything about the temperature of the chocolate in our vending machine. Could we have the lazy Nancy boy back on from last night? The one who had his benefit stopped. In fact, anybody but that Yorkshire... oh, that's a very rude word, Jeff, if you don't mind my saying so. But since... all I can say is, since we were discussing the topic of breastfeeding earlier, all I can say is that if I adapt that for radio, you're calling him a Yorkshire onion head. Got the picture? Good. Thank you. Somebody else says he should be a regular guest. He's hilarious. Right. Have we covered everything there? Yeah. Right, well, we'll just have a spot of Speedway now, and then it's over to the Jackie desk for the latest Jackie. 0161 288 0103, by the way, because we've got a number of issues here vital to human progress, if not to the survival of the human race. We also have something which is very important in the sense of human society. And what do we get? Somebody who can't remember who they saw in a film, a man who thinks tea bags are made out of aluminium, a bloke who's had a drink and can't remember the story he was going to tell us about parking his car. No,
it's a good night, really, considering.
It is, actually. The standard has raised a little.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still can't understand why we're not up for an award.
No, I can't. No. I'm shocked.
OK, we'll find out something else in a minute.
Right, listeners, you want £25,000? We want to give it to you. This is how you win it. Pin back your ears and listen out for these three songs. 1. The Police, Every Breath You Take.
Sometimes I feel like throwing my hands up in the air.
2. The Source featuring Candy Staton, You Got the Love. 3.
You're beautiful.
James Blunt, You're Beautiful.
You're beautiful.
We'll play those songs in that exact order, sometime soon. That exact order, soon. When we do, you pick up the phone sharpish and call 090 103 01 103. Calls cost 25 pence to win £25,000. Mobile rates vary. If you're the lucky caller, you'll be £25,000 better off. And very, very happy. The £25,000 triple play. Maybe today, maybe tomorrow. Whenever we feel like it.
On Manchester's Key 103.
Babe, I don't want to scare you, but something very weird is going on.
What's that, love?
We're sitting in TGI's, and I'm eating a delicious Cajun chicken sandwich with fries.
Yes?
But it's daytime, and it's a huge portion, and it cost me less than a fiver. It just doesn't make any sense.
Lunch has arrived at TGI Fridays with full-size main courses from just $4.95. Available Monday to Friday, 12 to 3. TGI's in daylight? Try it. It's only a tiny bit weird.
It's not even Friday. I'm telling you, those Americans are up to something.
After school, he'd give me my secret homework. He'd do gross things to me. I didn't want to tell anybody, because he'd just think I was dirty. It went on and on until I told someone. It made me realise it wasn't my fault, and I had nothing to be ashamed of. If it's happened to you, when you're ready, visit the NSPCC website, don'thideit.com, or call Childline on 0800 1111. Remember, if you've been sexually abused, you don't have to hide it anymore.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a home on the beautiful island of Cyprus? Come to the Cyprus Property Exhibitions from Perfilia. This Friday in Oldham or Manchester, Saturday near Macclesfield, or Sunday near Wigan or Bolton. There's free admission and free advice on our complete range of properties. So visit our Cyprus Property Exhibitions. This Friday in Oldham at the Menzies Avent Hotel, or in Manchester at the Radisson Edwardian Hotel. This Saturday near Macclesfield at Shrigley Hall Hotel, or this Sunday near Wigan at the Killycourt Hotel Standish, or near Bolton at the Last Drop Village Hotel Bromley Cross from 10 a.m. till 5. Call 08000 850 870 for more details or see local press.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, sorry. Whoops-a-daisy. There we are. That's fantastic, isn't it?
Massive.
Very, very impressive. That's lovely. Like a deep purple colour, isn't it?
Yeah. Is it squeezy?
Yeah, have a squeeze of it.
Okay.
That colour, actually...
No, it's not squeezy.
Is it not?
It's quite hard.
Oh. It's, that colour's, that is actually called vermilion.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah.
You can play with it.
You can if you want. Lovely. James, could you, could you ask that daft scouse if he could sort me out a couple of wheel trims for my reliant Robin? Please play Madness It Must Be Love. Take That, How Deep Is Your Love for Ryan in Oldham, who's working nights at Ashton Foods. OK, we'll do that.
No problem. Some more emails.
Here's a plan, mate. Buy a permit, you daft scouse git.
Well, yeah, could do, couldn't he?
Yeah.
Hi James, I've got some intriguing news for you. You know the big green jar where Debbie Mack supposedly keeps her secret chocolate biscuit supply? Well, I think that's actually where she keeps her James H. Reeve voodoo doll. And when you get a little twinge at midnight, it means she's sticking the pins in again.
Is that why we get this rather predictable belch at...
Yeah, it could be,
do you think she does something?
Yeah. What could she do to do that?
I don't know, it probably involved some Alka-Seltzer.
Yeah.
But, do you know, hey, I've ever told you this fantastic... My mate, he's been treated by this faith healer.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Because you like anything like that, don't you?
Oh, yeah.
And he does acupuncture and voodoo.
Right.
And he can cure anything, any complaint you've got. And you don't even have to go and see him.
Oh, brilliant. That's good.
Yep.
Hattie Jacks says...
Hattie Jakes.
Sorry.
You're getting confused with the Stade de France. We discussed that. What's the matter with you? You got the attention span of a goldfish.
It's funny you just mentioned goldfish, actually.
Oh,
it says,
hell.
I've just tuned in and I'm wondering why James is discussing goldfish bowls wearing wigs. It sounds fishy to me.
No, it's a disaster, isn't it?
Hey, sister. This is from my mate Jackie. What's up the old misery tonight is worse than usual. We didn't start this wig thing, Q103 did. If he can't stand the heat, he should stop tearing his hair out.
Keep going.
Rio and Anton in Peckham. We ain't no hooligans. This ain't a football song. 3 lines on the song. We know we can't go wrong. Hi, James. I think Hugo Chavez is a great leader. If I had my way, I'd put him in charge of every country in the world. Also, I agree with his personification of Chewbacca. I think that's something everyone could nod their heads and say, yes, that does mean something. Have a good time in Skegness.
I really wonder what sort of person we're catering for here.
Yeah. Hi, Wiggy. What's with the attitude? Why don't you ring up Tool and have a go at him? And don't take it so personally. If you need volunteers, then get some people to come and search for your sense of humour. Chill out, Wiggy. Another one. Hey, you miserable git. It's not cool to have a go at the listeners because you haven't got a sense of humour. This wig is just a joke. Stop being so insecure. This is down to Debbie Mack. At least she's got a sense of humour. Don't be such a misery, says Mark.
Do you know, it's funny you should mention the possibility that Debbie Mack does a bit of voodoo because and sticks pins in a model of me, because I've got something I'd like to stick in Debbie Mack.
Oh, right.
But I think the chances are very, very slim.
Slim, yeah, slim to none. Sharon in Bolton says, hi James, talking about the Onion family made me laugh. Back in the 80s, my son went to school with a young lad and his name was Russell Sprout.
No, it wasn't.
His parents must have had a good sense of humour. There's some answers to Dorothy's competition here.
Yeah.
It sounds like We'll Meet Again, starring Susanna York. The clues were very hard to follow. Oh yeah, there is that. James, I think Doss is talking about Donald Sutherland, says Paul. And I think the film Dorothy refers to as Yanks, made in 1979. The thin-lipped man may be either Richard Gere or an actor called William Devane.
Yeah?
Yeah? The other actor she mentions could be Martin Smith, who went on to a career peak with Crossroads.
I've no idea.
Yeah.
I wasn't actually following. In fact, it would be overstating the case to say that I was listening, to be honest with you. Except when she said Tish.
At least you're honest.
Yes. Yeah, Moira in Ancoats, she's baffled. She says, can you slowly and clearly just tell me again what we're looking for? A one-legged man with teeth and lips who's political and a friend of Trevor Howard. Is that right?
I think she's got it there, yeah.
Broadly speaking. Ian in Prestwich, you're on Key 103.
Hello, how are you doing? I've got to say, I want to tell you off.
Do you?
Go on, get it all over with first.
What?
Then I can tell you off.
What?
Last time I was on, it was when you were doing about the grave robbing of that animal rights activist.
Oh, yes, indeed. Yeah.
I never got a chance because you cut me off, because I think you were losing the battle.
No, I wasn't losing the battle. I was probably losing the will to live, Ian. However...
You were losing the war.
Yeah, but if you can put your point across in a pithy and forceful and convincing way, then you're just the sort of person we're looking for.
Right. Well, in that forceful way.
Yeah. Could you stop shaving?
I could do, but I don't want a bit.
I don't want a bit.
Oh, listen to me. Just listen to me.
Okay. Just try and keep still. There we are. That's lovely. Hold it. Oh no, it's gone again. Right.
Are you still there? You're not going to cut me off again.
Only time will tell. But the main thing is, let's try and let's try and improve the audio quality, as we call it in show business.
The audio quality is that you want interest.
No, I want to get rid of that noise, like a wasp.
Oh right, I don't know. I can't hear a wasp. Is that any better?
Stay exactly where you are now.
I'm stood next to a house.
Well, okay, that's fine.
How's the wasp gone?
Yeah, well, yeah.
I can't hear a wasp.
Right, it's only an imaginary wasp, but never mind. Let's get bogged down in that one.
Right.
So, Ian, yes?
The one I wanted to say, James.
Yes.
Was that the last time I phoned up was about the grave robbing incident, and you were justifying it, and I mentioned to you that if it was your mother, how would you have felt? Which you told me in no uncertain manner how you have felt with your mother.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I was justifying the robbing of the grave. Who was the mother of people who owned a guinea pig farm? I think I'm right in saying.
Right, and yeah, all right. With guinea pigs, I can't live with it because I think the guinea pig farm is doing a good job, but at the same time, I can't see in any shape or form how you can justify robbing anybody's grave.
I didn't justify robbing anybody's grave.
No, you did the devil's advocate and said that but the animal's this, the animal's that, and then I also mentioned before I went into the robbing of the grave that my father has Parkinson's disease, and his medication comes from cells taken out of aborted babies, which is also another controversial issue.
Right.
Which wasn't that night, but you obviously at the time didn't know about it because you made the noises that you didn't know about it. But
I made I don't know about it noises.
Yes.
What are they like?
When I said that the treatment comes from fetuses, you didn't know about it. That's the noises that say you don't know about what I'm talking about.
What sort of a noise was it?
It was I don't know about that.
Well, that's not a noise.
No, but if you don't know, then I'm not going to... Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and...
No, I want to know what an I don't know that noise sounds like.
That I don't know that noise sounds like saying, well, I don't know about that, which is, I don't know about that noise, in my opinion.
Okay.
So, okay, now you're fed up with me because I'm boring you.
That's more or less it, Ian. Right, it's 11 minutes to midnight, and James, who was the benefit boy from last night? Oh, yeah. Did I miss a good one? Yes, you did, Matt. Have you been to that new Jewish-Japanese restaurant on Portland Street? It's called Sosumi. Everyone yes, every egg a bird, every bird a whistler. That's rubbish. Right. James, what do you think of the Da Vinci Code? Is it worth watching? As the critics have said, it isn't what the hype is, according to ITV News. Well, I mean, if you want to waste your money, you might as well. But it's, it's a conspiracy theory. It's something which is mentioned when all these, the latest revelations about the film of the aircraft hitting the Pentagon in 2001 on the 11th of September, is that it does point out that the man who wrote the book claiming that this aircraft crashing on the Pentagon was not all it might appear to be, or may not have happened at all, his book did become a worldwide bestseller. So I think that tells us a great deal of what we need to know, doesn't it? Right, John in Salford says, this new Dorothy competition, I think I know who it is. Does the one-legged man have a parrot on his shoulder? If so, I think it's Robert Newton. If I've won a night out with Dorothy, James can have it. Thank you. Right. Sue in Denton says, hi, honey. Sorry to hear you won't be here for 2 weeks. If you want someone to rub your suntan lotion all over that lovely body, just drop me a line. And then it gets a bit personal after that. Right. Nikki in Didsbury says, just before you go off on holiday, please stop teasing me over this job offer. I offered you my sugar granddaddy job, and you're just teasing me by holding back your answer. Do you want me to come down there and carry you off in my chariot? Just like Carita. We really must get to the bottom of this. I'll have to have a word with IT to get them to lift the block on this. And Annie Nastley said, is it true you're going on holiday for the next 2 weeks? Yeah. If so, are you going to stay at Storm Chasers B&B in Wigan? That sounds like a fun fortnight. Can you imagine? I'm going to have to go... I will have to have some sort of therapy to rid my mind of the collection of not rights that I've had to deal with. I no longer know how to communicate with normal people. I can't socialise at all. And Linda in Lee says, can I ask what might be a personal question? We, the women of the Northwest, are wondering what size of goldfish bowl James wears. Is it as big as the legends say? I'm not aware that there are any legends about goldfish bowls. Thanks. And Sam, girls are bigger than others, says, in Stressford, says, James, can you play those 3 songs that were on your competition advert then send me the £25,000. Thanks. Well, Sam, on the face of it, that's a very tempting and not particularly complicated course of action. But I can't help but feel that there's a flaw in it. It seems so obvious. There must be a flaw in it somewhere. I'll look into it anyway. Obviously, you know, there'd have to be some sort of arrangement come to, wouldn't there? Right. Thank you. My grand's grave was robbed. They left her, but took the coffin. Cremating her next week, costing a fortune, the old cow, says Jeff in Withington. I'm not sure that that's entirely helpful. Right, what am I going to do now? I know, I'll do this and then see what happens. I'll have to regroup, but I'm going to bring this, the work experience girl in a minute, because, can you imagine if you went to experience work, coming to a place like this? Because we have had a discussion, and I want to explore it further. So we'll return in a second, and I trust you will. Thanks.
We asked 100 people in Newcastle what they thought of Key 103's Toolin' in the Morning.
Why? Wallace Guns doing tune Kenny like so. Hey, I'll feel all your card in you know.
What? Toolin' in the Morning. Back tomorrow from 6 on Manchester's Key 103. Because the Manchester bit's important.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a home on the beautiful island of Cyprus? Come to the Cyprus Property Exhibitions from Perfilia. This Friday in Oldham or Manchester, Saturday near Macclesfield, or Sunday near Wigan or Bolton. There's free admission and free advice on our complete range of properties. So visit our Cyprus Property Exhibitions. This Friday in Oldham at the Menzies Avent Hotel, or in Manchester at the Radisson Edwardian Hotel. This Saturday near Macclesfield at Shrigley Hall Hotel, or this Sunday near Wigan at the Killycourt Hotel Standish, or near Bolton at the Last Drop Village Hotel Bromley Cross from 10 a.m. till 5. Call 08000 850 870 for more details, or see local press.
Beep, 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 beep. Introducing BE from Budweiser. A new drink with a mix of caffeine, ginseng and guarana, with 5% ABV and a crisp fruit taste. Grab a BE. Now let's mix it up. The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Of course, you see, now that I need her, she seems to have this policy of being in whichever room. I think it's a way of dodging the column, actually. I've done it myself. I think we've all done it at our place of work, haven't we? We've all made sure that we happen to be in the... I'll go and do... I tell you, it's like, you know, if you can't play football very well, you make sure you're in space, don't you? You find space and go and, like, going like that. Right. Right. But you go and find a space where you know perfectly well that no one's going to give you the ball. Anyway. I want to talk to you about these, what's her name? McCartney.
Okay.
Thing in a minute. But we've got to talk to Tricia in Earlham now. Tricia is in Earlham, hard by Caddy's Head.
Yes.
Tricia.
Hi. Okay, we're going to get into the matchmaker process. Hi.
Hello, Tricia.
Hi.
Hi, you're on Key 103.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Hello, are you in love?
Am I in love?
No, I said, are you in love?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You've got a radio on in the background.
Yeah, that was...
I've just switched it off, love.
Right.
That was a big hit for Steve Winwood, you know.
Aye.
Yeah.
That was very good. What I'd like to talk about is my partner. I mean, I'm bisexual, and my partner, Pete Fisher, he has been having an affair for 10 whole years, and my name's Paul Blaze, and my name's Paul Blaze, and I'm very, very upset.
Yes.
He's been having an affair, And what do I do?
You're bisexual.
Yes.
And is he bisexual?
Pardon?
Is he bisexual?
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah. Well, if I were in your position, I wouldn't know which way to turn, Tricia, to be honest.
Oh, fiddlesticks.
Oh, yeah.
What would you do if using my shoes?
If I were in your shoes?
Yeah.
I'd probably have to take them off.
Hiya, mate. I'm not really bisexual.
No, I know you're not. I know. Just because all the lads in the ship say you are, that doesn't matter.
The what?
In the ship, or do you go in the Catholic club?
No.
okay.
I just have a couple of drinks with all my friends, that's all.
There
I just wanted to get on the radio. Hello.
Yeah, well, you've done that.
Can I put mate on George?
What?
Hello?
Hello, George.
Hey?
Oh, I don't know. I'm past caring, to be honest with you. Is it? Oh, 25 hours.
We go on holiday
25 hours, and I don't care.
Yeah, we
In fact, do you want some of the furniture out the studio?
Go on then.
I'll send you. I'll send you a chair or something like that. Is that all right?
Can I have her in the background?
So I gather, yeah.
He's putting back onto me now.
Right, okay.
What I wanted to talk about, really, mate.
Don't call me mate.
Pardon?
Don't call me mate.
Don't worry, I'm not a poor, I'm only joking.
No, I don't like people in shops calling me mate.
Alright, my friend.
Well, that's a bit better.
No, I'm only messing. No, basically what I want to tell you about is I'm trying to sort my life out, and do you know what? I've been on the housing list, right? For 2.5 years. Can I get an house? No. Priority it's down to. Bloody ridiculous, I say. Bloody ridiculous.
Why don't you buy one?
Buy one?
Yeah.
You're going to give me the money?
No, obviously not. You're not supposed to be looked after from cradle to grave.
Pardon?
How old are you?
Me?
Yeah.
27. I'm not an angel, right? I got done last year for drink driving. I'm not proud of it, okay? I'm not messing about now, I'm being serious now.
We'll enjoy trying to spot the difference.
But basically, I am trying to sort myself out, working for myself. I do a bit of, painting fences and stuff like that, painting gutters and whatnot.
Only fencing and gutters, or can you paint anything?
Well, it's basically anything really. I do interior and outdoor painting, basically. Trying to sort myself out.
You're not one of these bogus workmen, are you?
I'm a bloody hell no. No, I'm not.
Good.
I do work for myself. It's not...
Excuse me, 1 minute.
Just thought I'd check.
Just 1 moment, please, Tricia.
Yeah. My name's Paul, really.
Oh, sorry.
I'm not a puff, really. Right, sorry, go on, James.
Okay. Now, I just want... What do you mean, a bogus workman?
We have to check. Ask for ID.
No, I'm not bogus.
What?
There's a lot of bogus workmen out there.
Yeah, like House of Horrors, yeah. I know. I'm not like that. No, when I say I work for myself, I don't mean like I'm earning loads of money. I mean, sometimes it's up and down the wages. I might only earn £100 for 1 week, or I might earn a bit less. It just depends. You've got to go out on canvas and ask people if they want jobs doing. Now, I'm trying to sort myself out with a proper job. Can I get one? No, it's my own fault. I shouldn't have brought the law in the past, and I have done, etc. I'm staying at a friend's house to give my dad a bit of space. I've got 2 brothers, 1 sister, and...
And what?
And basically, I've been staying at a friend's house for like a couple of months now, just to give my dad that bit of...
Space, yeah, and?
Space. And I'm going there... I've only given him the name. And basically, it's one of them, it's like trying to get your own property. I've been on the house list like over 2.5 years.
Yes.
It's bloody hard.
Yeah, well, that's because you're a single man who's 27, and listen. Tell your mates there to stop prompting you and say hello to Dobbo. Right, we're not having all that crap. Right.
Okay.
Right. So
I am being serious. What I've told you.
All right. Well, listen. Why? Do you know there's an increasing trend these days for people to live at home until?
Pardon?
I say, there's an increasing trend these days for people to live at home until quite a late age.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind living with my dad, but I mean, he's like...
He lives with me.
I live with me. Right.
Oh, this is drivel. Right, okay. Ron in Rochdale says, as you claim that your show is groundbreaking radio, yes it is, how about a coup? You, James H. Reeve, in association with Key 103, could bring Carita over from Finland for an exclusive interview. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? How about that? It would be a Key 103 radio first. Right. With, I wouldn't actually mind getting hold of Noggin the Nog, please.
That would be a key, wouldn't it?
Roy in Hyde says, can I please come back on your show, James? No? There we are. This is Mad. Oh, yes, that's about God versus the Devil, yeah. And Reg Varney in Liverpool says, do you still hang around with Frank Sidebottom? I just saw his website and it's pretty bobbins. Yeah, it's, I can't, I will try and get hold of him. I don't know what he's up to these days. But I tell you this. Oh, Harry in Gorton says, as Key 103's military expert, why haven't you given us chapter and verse on Carita's chariot? Was it a Mark III or the supercharged Ben Hur Speedster? Come on, James, your expert opinion, please. Well, as a matter of fact, it was, of course, the chariot was...
It's hot in here, isn't it? Are you warm? I've just got really hot.
It's so hot in here.
It's because it's cool out where I sit.
I'm going to have to take off my cardigan. The chariot was actually developed... Well, the wheel was invented in Mesopotamia, which would be probably Iraq these days. Parts of Iraq, parts of Syria, in between the Tigris and the Euphrates. And the chariot was... Well, the war wagon, really, was a wheeled vehicle developed by because of the segmented wheel. Yeah, because of the three-part segmented wheel.
Go on.
The Mesopotamians, who included the Assyrians, I think the Chaldeans, and anyway, but it couldn't turn. It was just a straight. It could only go in a straight line. It was, I think it was the Etruscans who developed the chariot with an axle which could turn. But funnily enough, the chariot. One of the nations which led the way in chariot design was, in fact, Britain, believe it or not, Harry. Oh, yes, it was, yeah. In fact, the Romans learnt a lot from us about chariots, and in the early days of the Roman invasion, they suffered a number of notable defeats, which is not generally acknowledged, as a result of the skillful use of chariots by the indigenous Britons. That's a fact. Went off on one there, a bit, really. Look, in a minute, we're going to talk about this Heather McCartney business, aren't we? Mm-hmm. Because I think we're going to come to... we might not come to blows about it, but there's going to be a discussion. OK, 6 minutes past 12, so that's 24...
Just do it.
Right.
Key 103.
Have you ever dreamed of owning a home on the beautiful island of Cyprus? Come to the Cyprus Property Exhibitions from Perfilia. This Friday in Oldham or Manchester, Saturday near Macclesfield, or Sunday near Wigan or Bolton. There's free admission and free advice on our complete range of properties. So visit our Cyprus Property Exhibitions. This Friday in Oldham at the Menzies Avent Hotel, or in Manchester at the Radisson Edwardian Hotel. This Saturday near Macclesfield at Shrigley Hall Hotel, or this Sunday near Wigan at the Killycourt Hotel Standish, or near Bolton at the Last Drop Village Hotel Bromley Cross, from 10 a.m. till 5. Call 08000 850 870 for more details, or see local press.
As the largest Peugeot dealer group in the Northwest, Alton Garages have negotiated an unprecedented bulk deal with Peugeot, meaning incredible savings are passed on to you. Introducing Alton's exclusive Cup range. Get a 107, 206, a 1007 or a 307 and save up to 25%. There are only 120 of these cars available in the group, so make sure you secure yours in time. The brand new Cup range, up to 25% off while stocks last. Only at Alton Garages Peugeot in Bury, Manchester, Oldham and Rochdale.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
Right, what we were talking about was this, and there's all sorts of stuff. Oh, I'll tell you what, I must point this out. Do you know Great Clues Street?
No.
Right. Great Clues Street. OK, you're not in this bit then.
OK.
Great Clues Street. About 4 or 5 years ago, they resurfaced Great Clues Street from the precinct, Lower Broughton precinct, for a big stretch there, nearly up to, can't remember what it is. Anyway, they resurfaced it. And when they'd done it, it was ages, you know, like they do one half and it's the other traffic lights and all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And when they'd finished it, I thought there's something funny here. Because the road, you could see the road sort of undulated.
Oh dear.
Very gently into the distance. And at certain speeds, it could induce a little bit of seasickness.
Never good.
You know, and you could see it went up and down, up, and I thought, they've just done this. It should be like a billiard table. But no, and I thought, I know why it is. It's because it's to channel the rainwater into the grids, right?
Oh, right.
So obviously it goes up, and when it goes down, it's forming like a shallow bowl to,
yeah, like a goldfish bowl, almost.
Nothing like a goldfish bowl.
Oh, sorry, no.
So, as I'm thinking, well, that would make sense. It's just unfortunate that if you just round about 30 miles an hour, you just got this faint feeling of being on a
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, obviously it's had to be done for reasons of drainage. And then, when it started to rain, it became clear that exactly the opposite was the case. That actually the road went down in between the grids. So in between the grids you got great big pools of water.
Yeah. Would have predicted that.
Yeah. And I thought, isn't it funny, they've just probably spent hundreds of thousands of pounds resurfacing this road and made a complete town halls of it. So, with the weather we've had over the last few days...
Oh, horrendous.
Especially as you get in near the precinct coming into town now, there's people walking along, and there's great big puddles in between the grids.
Do you ever do that when you...
Well, it's very,
Honestly.
and very funny. It is very funny.
Unless you're the person walking.
But I am a conscientious person.
Of course.
And I do try to avoid it.
But...
Right, but so, you know, sometimes there's two lanes of traffic and you can't get in it and you think, oh no.
Sod it, I'll do it anyway.
Yeah, and especially if it's a little old lady.
Oh, James.
That's particularly funny.
I would never do that.
Oh, you've changed your... Anyway, listen, the point is...
Go on.
For about the last week, there's been roadworks on the side where all these big puddles are.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, finally, someone... Oh, yeah, because there's one just near the traffic lights where, of course, people are waiting. I can
just imagine you coming up to the road. Oh, well, here we go again.
No, listen. People... there's a great big puddle just by the traffic lights where people stand and wait for the lights to change. Right. And there's all roadworks around there, and they've got a tent up and the red and white things, and that was there for about a week. Anyway, I noticed tonight they've gone, and I thought, oh, right. And there's no difference whatsoever.
Really?
No, there's still a huge puddle just by the lights where everybody stands.
Have you written to the council yet?
I think I ought to do. In fact, no, wait a minute. Why don't I just mention it?
Oh yeah.
On the Northwest leading late night phone-in show presented by someone beginning with R.
And then we'll get in trouble tomorrow.
Yeah, okay. No, it's fine. I'll take a photo of it and send it to the council. The thing is, though, you were crapping on before about this.
Crapping on?
Yeah.
I don't do that.
About this Hazel McCartney, right?
Heather,
and what have you? And you said she'll get half of his stash.
Well,
which is?
He's worth about 800 million.
800 million pounds.
Now, she got a decent lawyer. She could, I'm sure, I don't know really fully what the divorce law is, but you're normally entitled to half of it. But I've been reading in the papers, she's going to get about 200 million.
200 million quid.
Because they didn't sign a prenuptial agreement, which a lot of showbiz couples do.
Yeah.
Because a lot of showbiz couples split up.
Yeah, but then they turn out not to be worth the paper they're written on, apparently.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, if you get an expensive enough lawyer,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. But this is the point. She gets, if she is in line for 200 million quid, some people would think, for letting cheeky chappy, the cute one, Paul McCartney, have his way with you.
Yeah.
You deserve every penny of 200 million quid. I mean, Anna Nicole Smith.
She's battling on to the end, isn't she?
Yeah. But why should she get... What is this crap?
What do you mean, what is this crap?
I mean, why? Paul McCartney has... How many songs has she written? If any?
To my knowledge, none.
None whatsoever.
But she's married to him, and
so
he's asked for a split. She's been married for how long? A few years?
Right. So what did she bring into this marriage? Did she bring 200 million?
Love, affection.
Yeah.
Have they got children together?
I don't know.
I think they have.
Makes me feel a bit bilious, that. But anyway, yeah.
That's not the point, anyway. Listen, a man and a woman get together, and they have a house together, and say he stays in his house, where's she going to live?
Well, she can get another house
I know
somewhere.
she's probably got a few bob.
Can't she go back to where she lived before?
Well, why should she, when he's got a nice house to live in? Why should she? She's
Oh,
not inferior.
right. Oh, well,
She's not second in the relationship. They entered into hold on. They entered into a marriage as equal partners, as equals, and they are still equals. So why should it be different?
That's where I'd start.
He made
straight
his
away.
vows to look after her, and she did to look after him. So why should she go off and live where she did before, when he has asked for a split from her?
Well, I tell you what.
Claiming media attention. Who brought the media attention? Oh, let me think. Would it be him or would it be her?
That idiot in Earlham, that's his answer then, isn't it? All he's got to do is go up to somebody's door and say, "Excuse me, you've got a lovely house.
Yeah.
I think I'll come and live here."
Well, that's a bit different to falling in love, blah, 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 isn't it?
I don't know, they might go, it's worth a try. Look, this is rubbish.
Why?
If she... Look.
No, it's not.
Yeah, of course it is.
No, it's not.
No, it's not, is not a sufficient argument. She, for reasons best known, I mean, it may be, who knows, it may be the fact that it's Paul McCartney. If I could...
Excuse you.
Bang on, look at that! Absolutely!
That was to the second.
Yeah. Some people will be going, oh, is it that time already?
Yeah.
Listen.
Go on.
If I might if I might steal a remark, not from Dave Spikey on this occasion, but from Mrs. Merton. So, Debbie McGee, what was it that attracted you to multimillionaire magician Paul Daniels? Right? Okay.
Yeah.
So, why doesn't she just leave with whatever she started off with in the first place?
Why the hell should she? He's not leaving with that.
Well, yes, he is.
Hold on,
if she'd been with him since he was 16 and she'd stood by him when they were up and down the motorways in a clapped-out van, and she'd been his lifelong support and all that stuff. How long have they been married? 4 years.
4 years.
Right?
But you don't know.
She's brought nothing to that.
You don't know what their relationship has been, do you? Before that 4 years, what the 4 years has entailed.
Well,
she was saying how she had paparazzi.
Oh, she's not, is she?
Following her around when she was pregnant.
They can
when
cure
she was
that
in the
these
late
days.
stages of pregnancy, going, give us a bump and bum shot, love. Go on, go on. Hounded, which is the reason for their split by the press. Attracted because she was married to Paul McCartney.
Oh, so that's worth 200 million quid.
No, it's actually probably worth 400 million, which she's
right,
for
I
two.
see.
She's gone for half of probably what she can get.
So, did she not realise it was Paul McCartney?
Yes, she did.
Did she think he was just like, oh, he's a nice 60-year-old scouser?
I do see a point that people can get married for money reasons. I do understand that. But why should she not be entitled, as everyone else is in the country?
Because
when they get
her
divorced,
contribution has been
rubbish.
Right, she can have a share.
They don't have you on a sliding scale here. Saying, we've only been here 5 minutes, so we're only going to pay you this much. But tell you what, in a year's time,
if there is any product of their relationship, I would say she's entitled to half of that. All right. But
how do you put a... Well, that might be what they've come to. 200 million might be that.
But she's not made... She hasn't been instrumental in £200 million being produced.
How do you know?
Because she's done nothing.
How do you know that?
She's probably spent most of it trying to persuade people
She's
not
probably propelled him back into the spotlight by marrying him in the first place.
That's right. How misguided can you be?
No. He's been in the papers more since they've been married than I predict he would have been if they weren't.
Well, that's because he still keeps making albums convinced that anyone's interested. Which I think
he still makes albums.
Is a serious mistake.
When she's with him. Look, the marriage vows they made were as serious
he might just,
someone did.
No, you might be right. He might just make albums to get out of the house.
Yeah.
I quite agree.
I've got to answer these. I'm not getting out of this argument.
I see. Okay.
Don't use
all right. No. Hide behind that. Hide behind
Rubbish.
that. I better do my job for once.
Because if I didn't go, you'd be like, oh, people are ringing, off you go.
You're not usually this eager to get out of the room, is it? Are you?
Right, go on then.
I'm sorry,
go on then.
I became Welsh briefly then.
Play a break and then we'll leave it there.
Key 103.
Rain?
Yes, Finger?
Rain, I'm fed up.
Why?
Finger scratch bottom, finger point yourself rudely at the white van driver. I want my own life. I want the freedom to make my own decisions.
Okay, either watch a movie or not watch a movie. You decide this time.
Oh, thank you.
Sky Box Office. All you need is a brain and a finger. This week, In Her Shoes has Cameron Diaz and Toni Collette as chalk and cheese sisters discovering scandalous family secrets. You'll laugh and cry at the same time. Could get messy if you're eating popcorn. Sky Digital subscribers only. Sky Box Office terms apply.
Did we enjoy In Her Shoes?
Wonderful!
Oh, look. Windy Miller is having his breakfast. What's that you're eating, Windy? New Quaker Oat granola? With all the super grain goodness of Quaker Oats? They are a bit noisy, aren't they? Here comes PC McGarry to find out who's disturbing the peace. What's that, PC McGarry? Did you say you wanted to have a bowl? Oh, you want to give Windy an Asbo? Bad luck, Windy.
New Quaker Oat granola, just one of the new range of crunchy oat cereals from Quaker.
Babe, I don't want to scare you, but something very weird is going on.
What's that, love?
We're sitting in TGI's, and I'm eating a delicious Cajun chicken sandwich with fries.
Yes?
But it's daytime, and it's a huge portion, and it cost me less than £5. It just doesn't make any sense.
Lunch has arrived at TGI Fridays with full-size main courses from just $4.95. Available Monday to Friday, 12 to 3. TGI's in daylight? Try it. It's only a tiny bit weird.
It's not even Friday. I'm telling you, those Americans are up to something.
Oops, there goes the bookshelf.
Splendid, dear. Don't miss the IKEA sale with over 2 million items half price across all stores. Now on.
You've got 30 seconds to get out of the house. Not too tricky. But what if it's the middle of the night and you're all fast asleep? And the house is on fire. When you've got 30 seconds to get out of the house, you'd better make sure you've planned your escape. There are simple steps you can take so you all get out alive. Find out what they are by visiting manchesterfire.gov.uk. Do it now, while you still have time. A message from the Greater Manchester Fire and Rescue Service.
The James H. Reeve phone-in on Key 103. Call now on 0161 288 0103.
This is appalling. Merry Christmas in Mugsborough. Says, James, can you please say hello to Dobbo? I know what you're up to. I know what you're doing. Right. Wigs are not us in Wigan. I hadn't realised that before. Yeah. Says, hello, James. I'm still waiting for you to answer if you want to join our elite group of non-baldies. Remember, the group has members such as Paul Daniels, Terry Wogan, Bruce Forsyth, Noel Edmonds. As you can see, all world-class entertainers. Hope to hear from you soon. That's from Uncle Fester. Thank you. Right. Lee in Gorton says, do you get your info on how to try and save whatever hair you've got from Wikipedia? I'm sorry, I've never heard of Wikipedia. And Reg Varney in Liverpool says, as far as I'm concerned, Heather Mills hasn't got a leg to stand on. And in any case, Paul McCartney's got a bigger bust than her. I've had to tidy that up a little bit, Reg, if that's all right with you. Thanks very much indeed. And oh, where's the gag? It was funny, and I've lost it now. Oh, where's it gone? Anyway, wherever it was. Where was that gag? It's quite a good joke. Let me try and find it now. I can't remember where I can't remember on which of our many sources it came in on. Anyway, it goes something like this. Where the hell is it? I can't... Oh, yes, here we are. Found it. Thank you. This is from Jane in Eccles. A miner in South Africa, South Africa, has an accident and he loses a leg. He says to his mate, I'm buggered now. Who'll want a one-legged gold digger? And his mate says, try Paul McCartney. Thank you, Jane. That's very, very untoward, and I can only apologise on your behalf to anyone who might have been offended by that rather coarse and thoughtless and insensitive gag. Thanks very much indeed. 63103 if you want to send us any more. Right. Jeff in Withington says, I've no sympathy for the breakup of celebs and much more interested in the real world, or at this time of night I could be on the planet Zog. Now, Jeff in Withington, I don't know what's the matter with him, but he still hasn't sorted out the vending machine. James, I agree. Heather should get nothing. She made no money. They've got a daughter. She was nothing before she met him. And she is a gold digger, in my opinion, says Deb. Deb, mwah. Mwah to you too, Deb. Mwah. And hello to Dobbo. Since you know your engineering, you will probably know that 30 mile an hour is probably the resonant frequency of the car. No, it isn't, but I know what you mean. Try 40 miles an hour instead. No! That's ridiculous. Tar. I've just found out that Heather Mills and Paul McCartney have split up because he wouldn't stump up enough cash. Okay. Bit of a theme developing here.
Distasteful.
What? I'm just reading them out.
It's
I don't
just
have
distasteful.
I don't have time to go into them.
Yeah, well, that's just, it's low. It is low. I'm sure they wouldn't like jokes about them if they had,
If they'd married Paul McCartney...
No.
No, no one deserves that. If Paul McCartney was a Muslim, what would happen?
Shut up.
I don't understand that. I really don't understand that
I
one.
don't. It's silly anyway.
Also, we've just heard the world's first lesbian divorce has just taken place.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yeah. Details to follow. In fact, could you get onto it?
Oh, I don't want to.
Since you've significantly failed to produce Mrs. Onions...
I'm tired now.
Thank you. Paul in Brooklands. Have we done you? Yeah, I can't remember now. Paul, hello, Paul. You're on that key 103.
Hi, Art. Is that all right to call you James?
Well, yeah, I can't think of anything else.
Right, okay then. No, you did some, you doing no requests earlier on.
No.
Well, you reading things out that people were saying, and you were talking about the Onion Head that was on about the social last night.
Right. Oh, yeah, not Mrs. Onions.
No.
Onion Head.
Onion Head, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's me again.
Yes.
Right. I just wanted to talk again about my social money.
Yeah, I know, but I don't, Paul, so that's the end of that. That was rather short-lived, wasn't it? Mark in Didsbury. Mark, you're on key 103. Turn the radio down, you numbnuts.
Hello, mate. Yeah, I'm just about to do that. You caught me very surprised.
Well, okay, well, turn it down then. Right?
There we go.
As per instructions. Yes, right. Lovely. Now, Mark, we understand each other.
Wonderful. We're talking.
Yes.
That's not bad. Heather Mills.
Yes.
Did you know she actually won a competition as Nude of the Year? You know these like porn magazines.
Give over.
Honestly, yeah. There was a TV program a few years ago. Her ex-boyfriend, partner, whatever, was a photographer, and he took a load of nude photographs of her.
Candid.
Candid, yeah, well, whatever.
Yeah.
No, she was posing with one leg.
Really?
And she won the competition.
Oh, dear.
Honestly.
She'd have struggled with the 2:45 shots, wouldn't she?
Well, just a little bit.
Yeah.
They were mainly headshots, I think.
Okay, right, yeah.
That's
a boxing
seriously.
term, that.
Eh?
That's a box. Don't say a. That's a Don't say. That's a boxing term, isn't it?
What
did you know this? Did you know this? On Channel 4 News at lunchtime. I'm doing this because we've had, the audience turns over around about this time.
Yeah, well, they're on the way back from the pub, I suppose.
Well, yeah,
whatever.
Some of them have to be turned over to prevent them getting bed sores.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, in that establishment. But big thing, Krishnan Guru Murthy on Channel 4 News at dinner time. He says, and Paul McCartney's press spokesman has confirmed that he and his wife are this, that, and other. And a great big thing comes up on the screen behind him. It says, McCartney's to separate. And it was spelt SEPERATE.
Separate.
Separate, yeah.
Hmm.
That's not how you spell it.
No.
No.
Not entirely.
Well...
That was the BBC.
No, this was on Channel 4. Channel 4.
Oh, well, what do you expect?
It was the BBC who...
You expect the BBC to get things like that right?
Not necessarily, because it was the BBC who on Top of the Pops, instead of a big picture of Jackie Wilson, they've put up a big picture of Jockey Wilson.
Well, they haven't even got an entertainment licence at the moment.
Oh, no, that's right, yeah. Nobody's...
What a cock-up that is!
I know. And in fact...
Well, how ridiculous!
It's like forgetting to enter the FA Cup, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no, he's so bloody ridiculous. And the fact that the government doesn't allow them to carry on.
Well,
with our licence, he's bloody crazy.
I've thought of a way they can get round that. They could produce a video of My Family or Keeping Up Appearances and say, look, people, you're not going to try and tell me that that's entertainment.
Yeah, well, exactly.
See what I mean? There's a loophole there. I should have been a lawyer.
Apparently, you're not allowed to sing live and you're not allowed to dance. But everything else is okay.
Yeah, okay. So they're having to get all the staff in, aren't they, to pretend to be the audience?
Oh, yeah, they did that for, was it Top of the Pops or something like that?
Yeah.
And they got all the staff in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how crazy is that? That is just so stupid. They allow sort of terrorists and they let people out of prison to murder people, but they won't allow
in fact, they should
somebody to sing on the telly.
They should make them go and watch Top of the Pops.
That could be a good sentence.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Anyway, leave the being funny side of things to me. What was the point you wanted to make?
I've forgotten now.
Okay.
You've killed me.
Yeah, well, it's part of our tactics. Thanks. Bloody hell, James, says Jeff. Listen, I wish you were as active and industrious during the day. Jeff in Withington says, hell, James, I wouldn't fancy Jackie getting hold of me by the prenuptials. Thank you. Andy in Rochdale says she should only be entitled to 50% of what income came in over 4 years at most. He made his money at a time when she wasn't even born. More than likely. Police have just... I think what you mean, sir, is analysed, not analysed. Oh, they may have done, I don't know. They're an equal opportunities employer these days. Police have just analysed the Spurs lasagna, and it was found to contain traces of hard cheese, sour grapes, and tough Should we move on to the next item, yeah?
Well, just before you do, very quickly, let me tell you.
What?
I've had Jane on the phone. Do you remember she rang last night to tell us how she couldn't get her money from her bank?
Oh, yes.
Yeah. She rang them at 10 o'clock this morning.
Yeah.
And said she was going to get in touch with the bank charges people, and she threatened them with the ombudsman.
Mm.
Okay. At 4 o'clock, her money was in her bank.
Give over.
There you go.
Brilliant. Another triumph of teamwork and the mighty power of James H. Reeve on Key 103.
There you go.
Etc., etc.
And
Really?
I'll tell you what happened to me yesterday. This is in relation to credit card charges and bank charges, which has been all in the news recently. I got my statement through, and on it was a late charge of £25. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I pay my credit card bill, the minimum amount plus a bit more, on the same day every month, which is the day that I get paid. Okay.
Yeah.
And a few days later is when they need the minimum payment by, and that changes every month. So it's like the 3rd or the 4th or something. Now on the statement it said late payment 3rd of May, charged £25. So when I looked in my diary, I thought, it was because it was a bank holiday. So because the banks weren't working on the Monday, it's taken a bit longer for my money to go through, and they've charged me for it.
This is like listening to Gary from Doncaster.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
But go on, yeah.
Am I making sense?
Up to a point.
Okay. So I rang them and I said, it's not on, what are you going to do about it? And within a couple of minutes, and I normally have to row with them for quite a bit before you get anywhere, within the first couple of minutes, actually it was the first thing she said was, I'll refund half of it straight away for you. So you only have to pay £12.50.
Right.
I was a bit like, oh, that's interesting, because normally, well, in my experience, that's never happened before, but because of all this stuff in the news, I think they realised, and she tried to appease me.
I think they feel that trouble is brewing, because, and may we refer you, is it still on the website, bit about how to go and go, and we, obviously this was recommended by the same bloke that told us about go to, bank group something. Anyway,
bank charges hell.
Yeah, it's all on key103.co.uk. Go to the James H. Reeve bit, and it's there telling you how to get your credit card charges reduced, and they reckon that banks are next in line, and quite rightly so. Everybody does it, don't you? What's it? British Telecom do it. If you're late paying a bill, they charge you an extra £5, I think it is.
Yeah.
For no good reason.
For nothing.
And this was before all this lot happened, but this one thing that I pay on a credit card that I don't use for the rest of the year.
Right.
Because I forget about it.
Yeah.
It's once a year, and I forgot to look at the statement. And then the next month I looked at it, I said, oh, blimey, I didn't pay. And it's like £12 or something like that. And I keep meaning to move it over, and I've never bothered. Anyway, for not paying the £12 on time, they charged me £50.
That's ridiculous.
And at the time I said, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And rather as you just... Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Just ridiculous. Yeah.
Ridiculous. And he said, well, there's nothing we can do about it. But I've a good mind...
Bring them back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very doubtful that I'll speak to the same bloke.
Yeah.
But I'll just see if their tune has changed.
I bet it would.
Anyway, I'll tell you what the consensus is, that she should not get anything like 200 quid. 200 million quid. Well, 200 quid would be about right. Well, Terry in Withenshaw, Terry Moran, says Paul McCartney should pay Heather care money for looking after a pensioner for the last 4 years. I understand it's about £7 an hour.
Rubbish.
Okay, it's certainly not enough with them telling you how old they are and going on about the war and
the hip.
Being it, yeah, and asking you, can you remember who was in a certain film?
Incontinence pads.
Yeah. Terry says also the split up of the McCartney families because Heather wouldn't eat a meat. I can't wait to see Alan Beswick dancing on top of the pops, says an anonymous contributor. Thanks very much indeed.
Maybe it's him trying to get some publicity.
I'll tell you this. Hang on, let's see if... he's mad, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll put him off for as long as possible. We'll postpone him.
That's you, Simon.
This is why the whole idea of prenuptial agreements was mooted in the first place.
I wouldn't sign one.
Well, no, that's because... Well, I can understand why. Because...
yeah, but it destroys the romance.
Life's so hard for women, isn't it?
Oh, give
over.
over.
Everything they have to put up with.
Give over.
All you've got to do...
Don't start this one.
...is find some bloke who... Well, I wouldn't say... Yeah, who has got more money than sense. That's exactly who you need. And put up with a bit of, you know, the old favourite, if you can. And
there are people who do that, James.
well,
I'm
yeah,
not denying
yeah,
that.
yeah. And in the case of under the current legislation, a lot of people do it unintentionally, and then to their delight and surprise, they find that they've got for half a house, or in some cases, the whole bloody house.
You're right.
You set me chest off now.
She's perfectly entitled to it under the law.
She is not.
Under the law.
Oh, I
she is
know, yeah,
perfectly
law.
What do you mean, oh, law?
Law schmaw.
Yeah.
That's what I say. She is...
The law is there for a reason.
The law is there. No, this is not, this is nothing to do with the law.
Yes, it is.
No, this is to do with lawyers. There is no law that says you're entitled to this.
There's a divorce.
This is what has been argued. No, divorce says, the divorce laws say nothing about that. That's why they have people who specialise in what they euphemistically call family law. In other words, divorces. That's what they do. It's who can argue what. There is no precedent. There is no case law on this. It's who can argue the most. And there have been some grotesque rulings. I think, was it Bruce Willis, who got like £100 million in the bank, and then someone that he was married to for about 3 weeks gets like 40 million quid.
Well, that's ridiculous. Yeah, that is ridiculous.
Well, what about this? What about this?
What about this?
Paul McCartney was worth this money.
She had his baby. She has had his baby.
Then let Paul McCartney provide for the baby.
Well, that's what a lot of these costs, they always add them up, don't they? What
Unless
child
she
does and blah, blah, blah. The lifestyle they're accustomed to, 200 million.
Has she
Kid will spend that on ponies.
Has she decided to do one?
Who? Heather?
Heather, yeah.
I don't know. He's in France, I think. According to the papers, he's in France mulling it over. I'm sure.
Mulling it over, oh mist rolling in from the... Why? Did you do that on purpose?
No, I didn't.
You shouldn't have denied that quite as quick. You should have said yes.
Yes, I did. Yes, I meant
see?
to say yes.
Yeah. Think of a number.
3.
Oh, hell. Yeah. If she's done one,
He has asked for the separation, blaming media intrusion.
He has.
Yes.
It's still. She's,
is that different now? Hold on.
No,
if he has asked for the separation, is that different? Of course it is.
It probably means she should get something.
Oh, of his estate, which is 800 million, of which 200 million is something, isn't it?
She should get something.
Which is?
I don't know, whatever women need.
200 million. Good on her, I say.
Well, yeah, I mean, given their head, 200 million, but in terms of what they actually need, what do they need?
He needs less. She should get more.
Bingo. Simon in Hollingwood, I expect you've been following this very closely and have firm views on what the outcome should be. Simon, you're on Key 103.
Hello.
Hello.
You alright?
Yes.
Good. I'd like to read out something I've written down and prepared, if you'd have the patience to listen to me, please.
24 hours and 19 minutes.
Woohoo!
Yeah?
Right. I'll try not to go on for too long. It starts off, it says, "He put the weight of the world on my shoulders." He says, "I don't know if you are aware, but there is a major struggle between God and Satan for control of this planet, and the heat is on. I would like to start by explaining the significance of Ricky the Hitman Hatton defeating Collazo. It was a war. Ricky was fighting against a man from New York with the Virgin Mary tattooed on his chest and angels and demons on his arms. In Ricky winning the fight, Manchester defeated New York, England defeated America, and God defeated the devil. He put an end to America's satanic plans of a new world order, but Europe's is taking shape."
Is this something to do with Ricky Hatton?
Well, a little bit, but just let me carry on.
Okay. Sorry, Ritty.
Sorry.
Ritty Hatton, yeah.
Yeah. He says, "My star said this week that I've got to get the courage for one last try on Thursday before it's too late. So here is what we're going to do. In a secret location in my hometown of Stretford, live on the James H. Reeve show tomorrow night, we'll be announcing our intentions for a new a new World Footballing Association called the OLFA, which is the One Love Football Association. It will remain out of the public eye and only exist on a website that will be revealed soon. We will also be announcing our intentions for a political party called Nova, which is none of the above, where we were demanding an election on the 4th of July, but not only in England. As for football, we will be revolutionising the game. Here are some lyrics I penned the other day.
Okay. Just a small point.
Go on, yep.
Not... What's it going to be called? No,
What's the political party called?
Nova. None of the above.
well, that would be Nota.
Yeah.
Well, V, the letter V, there's already one called Nota, none of the above. It's the letter V,
Right.
none of the above. Yeah?
None of V above?
None of V.
V above.
V.
No,
The
right.
letter V. Not V-H-E-E, the letter
Yeah.
V.
Yeah, but that doesn't... That,
Makes no sense.
none of the above would be Nota. N-O-T-A.
Notar, yeah.
Notar. Oh, right, now that's better. Call it Notar. Call it Notar very much.
Yeah, Notar very much. Yeah, but,
and I think it's also Welsh for good evening.
Is it?
I think so.
Lovely. Lovely.
I'll look into that one. I speak a bit of Welsh.
Good evening.
It says, let's look at it. It says, as for the master plan for football, Beckham, being the Antichrist, can lift the World Cup with England, winning it in 66 and 06. That's the Devil's number, 666. I will remain underground until the 25th of December, while I will explode onto the scene of football and bring down the Devil once and for all by defeating Satan's team, Manchester United, whilst playing for God's team, Manchester City. It will be known as Blue Monday, and God's new order of heaven on earth will be official. I also want Roy Keane playing for United so I can end his career, just like he disgracefully did to our captain Alfie Haaland. And I want Beckham playing for United so he can get on his knees before me when he's defeated. This is Planet Football, and with Manchester having both God's and Satan's football team and being the musical capital of the world, it is the New Jerusalem. If you fully understand Manchester music, you will believe it. England will then host a World Cup in 2008, where our captain England to win it, moving Euros to 2009. And now I would like to read Psalm 40, which inspired a
You want to read what?
A Psalm 40, which inspired a U2 song.
Right, okay.
It says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and heard my cry. He lifted me out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. He put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear, but put their trust in the Lord.
Right.
Blessed is the man who makes the Lord his trust.
Okay.
Simon. Okay, yeah?
Yeah. Simon, I've got to ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
What's all this about?
What's all this about?
Yeah.
This is about doing God's work.
Right. How is reading long passages out of...
well, we'll leave that one. That's Psalm 40. If people want to read that, that's Psalm 40. It's quite a significant psalm.
Right.
I'll carry on. What we want tomorrow in Manchester when we announce ourselves is for Ronaldinho to bring the World Cup and European Cup, Robbie Fowler to bring the FA Cup, Tim Lovejoy and Sean Wright-Phillips to bring the Premier League trophy, and Paul Smethurst from United to bring the League Cup. I'll be buying Manchester City with Nolan Lane Gallagher and Ricky Hatton, and we want Sean Wright-Phillips back, and Shevchenko and Raul now, and we'll make an agreement with Barcelona as Henry can sign for them now. I will go over there in 2008 after winning the World Cup, and then bring back Ronaldinho, play there for one season and bring back Ronaldinho and Henry to City. I will generate enough money to give working class fans enough money to buy the Devils football team from the devil that is corporate America. What has happened to our beautiful game is corrupt to the core like the planet is, and we need a worldwide revolution. Right. I don't like the word conspiracy because people think it is an opinion and that it's all in the head, but it is a fact. A secret satanic organisation really control the planet.
Oh,
if you are in any doubt, I suggest you go into a search engine on the internet and type in New World Order, Illuminati, or Bilderberg Group to start with.
Oh no!
Did you know
no!
Did you know that the last election in America, both candidates Bush and Kerry are members of an elite group that meets up at Bohemian Grove in America So although on the surface you seem to have a choice...
Stop.
they are
Yeah,
just
stop.
puppies
No,
that
stop.
follow
No, stop.
orders.
Whoa. You're reading this off a website, aren't you? You're reading this off a... Oh,
No,
sorry.
this is something I prepared
You're
today.
reading it off... You've cut and pasted off a website. I do beg your pardon.
I can assure you I haven't.
Simon,
I can assure you I haven't, James.
Simon.
I can assure you I haven't.
Let me explain.
Go on.
Once and for all.
Go on.
Conspiracy is... There are some conspiracies. They are usually short-lived with a single purpose in mind.
Right.
And the so-called big conspiracies...
Well, the Illuminati...
The Illuminati, the Bilderbergs, the John F. Kennedy, 9/11, landing on the moon and all the rest of it, they don't exist. And I'll tell you for why.
Go on.
I'll tell you why. There are two prongs to this argument.
Well, the symbol of the Illuminati...
I don't care. I don't care if the symbol of the Illuminati is my arse. Because there is no point in doing it. And I'll tell you why. I don't care about the Illuminati and the Bilderberg, the Masons and what have you. Right? The Masons mostly organise dinner dances for money to help out orphanages, right? What have you, right? Now, let me just explain.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me just explain why conspiracy theories are A, rubbish, and B, important in that they give people who are slightly unhinged something to take their mind off the world around them.
That's nonsense.
Right. The reason there is no need for conspiracies.
So, have you heard of a Bilderberg group?
Yes, of course I have.
Do you believe they exist?
No, of course. It may very well exist, but isn't it odd? Because now, we know it exists. So it's not a very good conspiracy, is it, really? Okay. Right, I'll let you turn that one over in your mind. Now listen to this one. The reason look, let us imagine that any of the popular conspiracy theories had any foundation whatsoever.
Alex Jones, prisonplanet.com and infowars.com. It will open your mind to it.
No, it won't. It will just give me somebody else to laugh at. But on the other hand, I'm sure it's someone who is making a great deal of money out of encouraging people to believe that the unseen hands are at work. Well, let me explain to you what the situation is. Listen to this, Simon. Listen.
I'm going to.
Let us imagine that actually Neil Armstrong never set foot on the moon. Let us imagine that was the case. Yeah. Now then, for 37 years, they've managed to keep that a secret.
That's because they won't let you get into it.
That's right, yeah. And none of the hundreds of, if not thousands of people, none of them has ever let the cat out of the bag. None of them has ever thought, I can earn some money off a newspaper. None of them has ever accidentally said to their wife or their mistress or to their mate when they've had too much to drink, no one has ever... Isn't that amazing that all those tens of thousands of people have managed to keep that secret for nearly 40 years? Isn't it amazing? Isn't it... all those people. Nobody has let it slip. What a brilliant conspiracy. And so plausible. Do you want to talk about John F. Kennedy now? Do you want to talk about the assassination of John F. Kennedy? That's even longer. That's 43 years. And all the people involved have been magnificent. They've kept that a secret, and no one has managed to get anywhere near the truth. Like that's going to happen. Do you want another one? Yeah, as many as you want. And I'll tell you why. All conspiracy theories are rubbish. All of them are rubbish. They all get found out. They all emerge. And the great big ones, the big lies, are a figment of sad people's imagination. And this is the reason why. If someone wants to rip you off, if someone wants to take you to the cleaners, they don't even bother conspiring. They don't even bother to cover it up. They do it right in front of your face. And you don't do anything about it. There's no point in cover-ups, because cover-ups come unstuck. Doing it in plain view is the easiest way, the infallible way of getting away with it. Thank you. Anything to say?
Getting away with it. James song called that, Getting Away with It All Messed Up, on the latest album, Please Come Here.
Didn't understand a word of that. There we are. I think he just...
died off.
I think I just did something, you know, where you say, I renounce thee, and someone like just goes, folds up on themselves and disappears and goes, and they no longer exist. I think that's happened. Oh dear, I don't think I can be held responsible for that. Oh, James, as the emancipated Jackie is so generous with Paul McCartney's money, will you ask her to lend me a tenner?
If you're lucky.
Duncan in Moston says, Jackie, you should have asked the credit card company for the full amount to be refunded.
Oh, I have.
All right. Not accepted half. This is a common ploy by the banks to try to look as if they are being reasonable, hoping that people will accept it.
No, I said that's not acceptable, I want the full amount back, and she said it's going to be referred to the manager, and I have to ring back to find out after she's reviewed my account.
Well, I'm going to look again at this 50 quid.
I would, yeah.
All right. Terry says, tell Simon, that was Simon. Why don't you tell him, Terry? It's becoming like a typing class, isn't it?
Yeah.
God doesn't need any help, and he shouldn't forget to take his medication in future. Okay. Terry says, Simon, my arse. And, oh, Di, your friendly Welsh correspondent, says, as funny as it would be, no tar isn't anything in Welsh, but you're thinking of nos da, which means good night. Yeah. You see, Di, what we do sometimes is, I'm not sure whether the device has an actual name, but what we do sometimes is you say something pretending that you're knowing something, but giving the impression that you actually don't know it. How can I put this? It's a comedy basic. It's like do you remember the television series about the women in the Japanese prisoner of war camp? The series called Tenko.
No.
Say yes.
Yes, I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I had a conversation between two friends, and it was like we were marching on. It was like Tenko, and the other one says, "What's coffee got to do with it?"
As in Kenko?
Yes.
Yeah,
yeah.
I get
you. See, so what he was doing there, that was a deliberate comic device. He was pretending not. So that's what I'm on about, Di. But thanks for explaining it to me. Oh. Well, I'm sorry about this, but the support is overwhelmingly in my favour. That whatever's gone on, she should at best get back. She should get a deposit back, or she should get back a share of the whatever is the product, the financial product of her relationship with Paul McCartney.
Is an equal partner. They entered into a lifetime together.
Okay, no. Well, you're an equal partner from when the vicar says go. That's what you're.
Does the vicar say go?
Yeah. Don't.
Right now, get to the party.
You don't start eating your bun until the vicar says go.
Right.
Right. Okay. By the way, is Nodbad the bad, the spawn of Satan, and is Oliver Postgate one of the four horsemen of the apocalypse?
We've answered it all now, haven't we?
Or am I bonkers?
Ah.
Well, I don't think we can rule out any of those. Thank you. Update. On the news, it said she will probably get 75 million quid.
It goes down.
What?
Out of 800 million, that's not a lot to him, is it?
It's still better than a kick up the arse, isn't
For
it?
him and his daughter, it's the least he can bloody do.
Why doesn't she get half of what falls in since they got married?
Because she's his wife. And he didn't have the sense to make her sign a prenup.
Who put the mirrors on the moon? They bounce lasers off every 5 minutes. It wasn't me. People who are slightly unhinged should never be joiners.
That's rubbish.
Politician would be a good vocation. Oh, look, I'm sorry if I appear to be a little giddy, but the prospect of not having to do this... Oh, no, 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 no.
The prospect of sitting on a boat in Turkey.
Yeah, I reckon you should read a book called Mortal Error by Boner... Oh, Boner Holmes. Boner Menninger, if you want to know who shot Kennedy. No! I know who shot Kennedy! Lee Harvey bloody Oswald shot Kennedy! It's perfectly simple. Yeah, and this one bloke, this one man, this one fella writing a book, typing a book in his caravan somewhere. He's the only one who really knows what happens. Yeah, the hundreds of thousands of journalists in America never got to the bottom of it. Woodward and Bernstein managed to topple the president. But no one's been clever enough to work... Do me a favour. I think we'll have a blanket ban on, first of all, blankets, and secondly, conspiracy theories. And we're going to have an overall winner and send them some overalls. Oh, you do this bit, because I'm knackered now.
Oh, God, got to make it stretch for ages. Okay.
Pardon me?
Got the news at 1. Sam Walker's here after an hour of non-stop music. She'll be here from 2 till 6. Hopefully people will keep her up to date on the wig debate. And then there's Tool in the morning.
That'll be a real rib tickler.
With Chelsea and everyone else, and I'm sure they'll be discussing your wig, whether it is or not.
Right.
And then we're back for our last night before holiday at 10 tonight. And you've got 10 seconds.
24 hours and 17 seconds.
I'll be on a plane.
15. Oh, I can't wait for this.